There's their superstar from last week, Lindsay Thomas.
Yeah, Lindsay Thomas, 27 scoring shots the last 3 weeks. Jacob Surge, 100 gamer on him, and Brent Harvey, both skippers on each other, Cassisi and Harvey.
So we're underway at Etihad Stadium, and the Swallow immediately tackled and didn't try to get rid of it. And according to the umpires, if you don't try hard, you get pinged, even if you didn't have prior opportunity. Pearce, early free. Thomas can't take the mark. Brogan caught and slung and threw it away. Boak dives in, they dive on him. Free kick, Travis Boak.
Just interesting watching North. They've loaded up their forward line with Lindsay Thomas, obviously, but Harvey starting forward with Cassisi. Wells starting forward with Kane Corns as his opponent this afternoon.
Just pops it toward attacking 50 over the head of Stewart. And the mark taken by Scott Thompson.
Had his best game for the year last week playing.
Absolutely. 29 possessions he had last week.
He was super. His ball use, he went at 97% effectiveness, so he's a terrific game.
Grimer couldn't take possession. Tied up again, but chased by Motlop this time, and doesn't earn himself a free kick. Yeah, that game, Scott Thompson, a couple of weeks after the infamous Barry Hall game, so it was good to see him bounce back. He's got Daniel Stewart on him in game number 4. Well, he's on Daniel Stewart.
Yeah, we needed that game, Dwayne, because he had 12 goals kicked on him in 2 weeks after the Barry Hall incident, so really bounced back well last week. You see him in the goal square there.
Grimer and Tringove were going at it behind play, and
much improved player, Nathan Grimer.
He's a good player, Spud. You're right. He's got good speed. He's a good, smart defender.
Short towards McIntosh, off hands. The other Stewart for Port Adelaide. Corns, Boak, tried the outside of the foot. Touch play on. Zeeble got a shin on it. Straight back to Boak, who pokes it inside 50, and Schultz.
Well, Zeeble got one of those bounces at the goal he got last night. Just got a bit big on him.
Well, he can't blame the Sharon, though. They blame the ball all the time. They blame anything they can blame.
As Schultz having shot on goal, Hamish McIntosh, he had to be boundary side of that long kick. What it did, it allowed Port to get the ball back in the corridor. So, really good play there from Port on the counter-attack.
One of the ins for Port Adelaide this week, 5 of them, and he kicks it in for the first goal for the Power.
He started the year okay, Jay Schultz. He was defensively very good, didn't get a lot of goals, so he didn't hit the scoreboard all that much. And he did a nice bit of play earlier in the quarter, but that was a very nice finish. He is a good kick. A little bit of luck here. If you have a look at the ricochet off Zeeble, and just went straight to the power player, which was Boak. And he's a very, very good user, Travis Boak.
He is, and Schultz, good opportunity now with Treadray out of the team. And we talked about Daniel Motlop standing up. It's a great opportunity with him and Motlop deep in the square. Jay Schultz, good start.
He had not played for the past 3 games. In for his 8th game for Port Adelaide this year. Jay Schultz. Brogan and McIntosh to go at it. Brogan, the secondary knockdown. Warren quick off the square and got one for his trouble. Zeeble had a piece of it, couldn't get rid of it. And Pearce will get the clearance. Hands it off to Brogan. Long handball in the Roden direction. Tringove tried the slick give to Roden, almost handed it to him. Toe poke Harvey. Urquhart, a late inclusion for North Melbourne. Bastanak back for Rito. Greenwood, ex-Port Adelaide Magpies player Levi Greenwood, back to Grimer, all the way back to Harvey. And now Pratt has some room to move.
The work is out well here, North. Good defence from Port also.
Hands it off to Pratt and heads wide. Wells, and too wide really for him to make something of it. We'll get a ball in.
He's starting the 4-9, as you said, Liam. And there Kane Corns, their best tagger on Daniel Wells. So Mark Williams not allowing Harvey and Wells off the hook. Well, both those boys.
Kane Corns, one of the better players last week for Port Adelaide. Didn't have too many, but he was pretty good.
Boak, another possession. Roden tried to give it up and gave it away. Wells, good hands. Harvey slips it inside 50. And the mark taken by Hansen on a 45-degree angle. This will test him. He's been iffy in front of goals, but his form over the last month has been very good.
Well, that's why you need to tag Wells and Harvey. And guess what? Wells gets first possession, gets it inboard to Brent Harvey, lace out to Hansen.
And of course, Chad Corns got the job on Hansen with Chaplin and late So he's pulled out of the game at the last minute, which has left Corns in that role.
And he might be on song. Lockie Hansen, 2 behinds last week. A goal early this week.
Started his career down the back line. I'd like his work the last month. Lockie Hansen, he hasn't been hitting the scoreboard, but he's been hitting the work rate. And if you keep working hard, as we just see Daniel Wells, a perfect steal there. Cassisi in the middle of the traffic. That's the beauty of Brent Harvey. Saw Cassisi in the traffic. He'll push forward. You've either got to get a piece of the ball when you're tagging Brent Harvey, or you just need to play goal side. If you don't, that's what happens there. A goal there to Lockie Hansen. Good start, North.
We've talked about how good his last month has been, but he did have 23 possessions and 8 marks against Port in round 1. To give some indication of the season that was to come. Even though, as you said, Danny hasn't kicked a lot of goals this year. Urquhart working hard. Harvey bumped off it. Pearce takes control. Slides it inside 50, and Hitchcock free for some reason. No one near him.
Gee, that was a good kick, though. He was free, and he did have far too much space when you're 35 metres out directly in front. But good dispossession of Harvey there by Matt Thomas, who's an important player. But this kick is just a ripper.
Well, all the North defenders assumed he was going to kick long. He lowered his eyes. Correct weight there, Pickers. Super kick.
And he is a very good kick at goal. 12 goal 5 this season. Rarely ever misses. Port Adelaide back in front by goal.
Been their ball use the last 6 or 7 weeks. It's really let Port down. But the start of the game's any indication, they're on song at the moment. Lace out football through the middle of the ground. Start for Matty Thomas here. Turnovers. 61% of turnovers are caused from goals are caused from turnovers. And Thomas's tackle just allowed the runner Pearce. That is a super kick. That's skill, vision. Normally just kick long under pressure with that effort there, but that left foot kick of Daniel Pearce was lace out.
Cameron Hitchcock has a rest. Been a good pick-up for Port. Picked in the pre-season draft over summer after kicking 80 goals last year. 80 goals in Glenelg's reserves and under-18s.
He knows with
good season.
He knows where the sticks are, no doubt about that. He's actually held his form pretty well, Dwayne.
Yeah, he can take a big mark too, which you don't necessarily want your small men jumping, but if they can take them, back them in. Brogan wide. Matt Thomas. Short to half forward. Daniel Stewart. Chad Corns.
Good by North, though. They've held them up. Talk about Port Adelaide's kicking efficiency. They have played in some horrendous conditions the last few weeks.
That's true.
They'll be enjoying it here this afternoon with the roof closed on a breath of wind. The 59% kicking efficiency over the last 6 weeks might be a bit better today.
Well, they're going 76% at the moment. You expect it the way the game's played. It's uncontested football. North employing the full-on zone, and Port just do not want to kick the ball to a contest. They're looking for that free target forward to the centre where they can cut and run.
Danny Meyer back to Chad Corns. They've lost 6 of their past 8 games at this ground, Port Adelaide, but I think you're right, Liam. They'll be very happy to be back on this surface, even though a few Victorian clubs have criticised it. It's better than a wet Amy.
Oh, it's a wet day outside, Spud. I mean, you know, you turn up today and you're going to be playing at the MCG. It'll be a miserable, old, filthy day. You come here, yeah, the service mightn't be the best, but still not bad to be playing footy.
Exactly. High kick to half forward, and the rain does continue to tumble outside. Roden gets the crumb.
Clever kick.
Pops it. Now Carr could go here. Gets it from Devonport. Tries to sell the dummy. Terrible.
No.
And Scott Thompson knew what he was trying to do.
Well, Jason Davenport's a good finisher. Now, he felt compelled to handball the ball to the left footer who's on the wrong side. He's being pinned onto his left side. He needed to say to Carr, you go and shepherd, mate. Yeah. Give me the space.
Or get the 1-2. Carr an opportunity to get the ball back.
Could be a turnover here. G. Modlop. In fact, it was Logan with the miss. Dropped the mark, and North Melbourne are away. Goldstein slides a low trajectory kick. Lindsay Thomas, he drops it, so it must be a little slippery at the moment, even though we're under the roof. Warren, Harvey, kickable by his standards,
push forward
and pokes it to Campbell.
Good ball use. That's terrific ball use through the middle of the ground there. Great awareness from Harvey. But this could be his second goal assist already. Cassisi tagging Brent Harvey. He's looking dangerous. with 5 disposals already, Bryn Harvey, which is super kick.
Now, this is at the other end of the ground. Davenport there really needed Carr to come and shepherd so he could run on. Instead, he pinned him, and Carr tried to take it on, which is the result while we're having a shot.
Campbell from a 45-degree angle sneaks it in. Scores a level again.
It's a pretty good game of football at the start of this game. Both sides being very accurate in front of the scoreboard. Bryn Harvey, he's had the 4 or 5 disposals, but they're 2 goal assists already, and that's the telling stat that most coaching clubs look for now. Just that ability to hit this target here forward to the centre is super crucial, and Campbell has probably let off the hook a little bit. A lot of focus on Lindsay Thomas, and all of a sudden Hansen, Campbell step up.
When these two teams met here last year under the roof, it was a tight game, North Melbourne by 5 points, but there was 38 goals kicked. North Melbourne winning, kicking 20 goals to Port Adelaide's 18. And we're on track for a similar high-scoring contest under the roof, which is great news. Bastanak dumps it long. Off hands, as you heard, Chad Corns.
Did really well, Chad Corns there.
He did in the hole.
Lindsay Thomas had to stay down there too, because you had McIntosh just about to mark the ball. He's been on fire, Lindsay Thomas, but just crumb the ball when it'll come. Don't go third man up when you're tall forwards, get about to mark the ball.
Stewart to Hitchcock, who took to take the mark. And we'll get a ball in.
We'll just have a look at here. He's just got McIntosh just about ready to mark the ball. Lindsay Thomas, if you're going to go, mark the ball, but stay down. Your bread and butter's at the foot of the pack.
Yeah, well summed up, Spud. He's trying to take a one-handed mark with under pressure when he really just needed to get around in the front square position, and he would have been in the right spot.
I'll cut him some slack. He kicked 7 last week.
We know that, Blaine, but he just needs to play the percentages there.
And it's not last week, it's this week.
Exactly right.
Free kick for Too High, so a couple of frees against Tringove, and Port Adelaide has been giving a lot of frees away this year. Bastanak goes back. Grimer or Pratt, little fumble.
A good spot to be fumbling.
And almost got one for Too High and almost turned it over. Wells and Cassisi made the commitment for Rito. Can use the boundary line if he wants to. Didn't use it well enough. So Logan got it from Cassisi. Heads to Brogan. Too far out.
Schultz is on his own if I can find him.
And knows it. Just floated in the direction, and Stewart got there.
Well, that was because Schultz was free, because Grimer didn't know whether to go back onto Jay Schultz there or Daniel Stewart. He was caught between a rock and a hard place, and that was the resultant fumble there that really did put North under the pump. You just see here they go forward, and the Grimer was trying to hang back on Schultz, and of course Daniel Stewart pushed forward there.
Started the season on the rookie list. Has kicked 3 goals this year. That's his first miss. But he's a good story, Daniel Stewart. Played for Eastern under-18s in Melbourne before heading up to Queensland's league to play for Labrador, and then moved to Adelaide and played some SANFL for North Adelaide. Might get another chance here. It's about to come straight back to him. Brogan hands it up. Chip kick back in the direction, but Schultz couldn't get there in time, and Urquhart takes the mark.
He had to mark that. He was the one that kicked into a 5-on-1. Urquhart. He gets the ball smothered, so the last couple of minutes hasn't been great for him.
He hasn't been in the team for a few weeks. He hurt his knee, missed a few weeks, had a couple of games in the VFL. Just didn't hit that well. He is actually a very nice kick, but needs to get off the man on the mark. Schultz has got a bit of a guts ache.
Well, I think he's relieved it is a guts ache, because
Cassisi to Carr to Motlop.
Trying to be too clever, Daniel.
And gave it away. Greenwood, Warren, stolen back by Carr. Little fumble across the boundary.
You know, the funny thing is, if Daniel Motlop, the North boys, I reckon, know his tricks. I reckon they're used to what he's going to do. And he tries the big ball. Well, they've all played with you, mate. They know what you do.
especially when there's 4 around, 4 direct opponents.
Swallow to Warren. From half-back toward the wing over the head of Hansen. Chad Corns. Stewart. Surgeon in game 100. Puts it up to the top of the square. Schultz is down there, flies off hands. Picked off by Lower. Scott Thompson heads wide. Maybe another turnover here. Surgeon. He could go for goal from 50. Sizes them up. Goes long. Goal square. Grimer with the big fly and the fist.
It was well read there from Surgeon, playing his 100th game.
Wells took a half step. Pratt. Made it tough. Campbell equal to it. Harvey tucked against the line. They open it up now. Garlett, Pratt, Garlett, Greenwood, bang! Brought down by Brogan. No prior opportunity. Ball still in there now, and he's
cooked. It was actually he didn't really scoop it back in. What happened was the big fella put the tackle on and then scooped it back in underneath him, which meant he was just about gone.
Well,
no, you're right. I gave him a bit of credit, which I shouldn't have. But anyway, it was still, the ball's flat.
Yeah, it's flat, he's not.
No, it's not.
Now blaming the ball.
Well,
and he goes backwards to go forward.
It was a good start, actually, by Brogan. He started the game really well.
Paul Stewart. Jacob Surgeon. Shoulder strapped, knee strapped, thumb strapped. And an apt surname. Wide ball from him. Banner.
Well, he has been one of their most consistent players this year, Jacob Surgeon.
Yeah. Mitch Banner floats it up. McIntosh should swallow this. Over the back, though. Just ran under it a bit. Ferrito, Grimer. And McIntosh thought about taking it out. Gave it up to Pratt. Keeps it alive. It works. Zeeble. Port Adelaide by 2 points. Played 16 minutes opening term. Hugs the boundary. Heads wide. And Lockie Hansen marks that on the line.
Yeah, push numbers back here, Port. They're not quite deep enough at the moment.
Warren marks it on the line. Open forward line initially, but not now. Called to play on. It's a wobbler and well marked by Alapate Carlisle.
One thing Port are doing well is manning the mark. They're forcing North wide all the time. So it's a really good play here for Port at the moment. They're corralling North, keeping them wide.
Here's to the open side to Danny Meyer.
Yeah, nothing on this side of the ground, so they're going to have to go back across.
North Melbourne almost enticing them to go back across. Pearce.
Well, both sides are doing that. Just holding the zone up. Forcing them to look to switch it all every chance they get. You can see the confused look on the players. And that's always a risky kick, that one.
Absolutely. Zeeble thought about going for goal from 55. Pops it to Warren. Takes the mark.
There's another player that's been in and out of the side a bit this year, Ben Lyon.
Short to Wells.
Moving the ball quickly, North. Jackson Tringo, he's the guy that fumbled that mark. He's come on for Dean Brogan, so he's got a big job on against Goldstein and McIntosh today to hold his own there.
Yeah, and with Troy Chaplin out, if you're wondering why Jay Nash had that kick that was fumbled by Tringo, it's because Jay Nash is in as a late replacement for Troy Chaplin, who's out. Not bad off the boot. Hits the square, and Tringo got a fist on it.
Good percentage play. David Roden there. He's come back remarkably well after that Lars operation.
Well, not only has he still got his speed, but he laid 12 tackles last week again, David Roden. He is ferocious in the contest. He's not afraid to test the knee out every time he goes for the ball. Tringo flies and bucks it.
No, that's a very good mark. He holds it.
He shows a bit, this kid,
He does. It'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure whether he's a ruckman. He may develop into one with a bigger body, but he's got some uncanny skills, isn't he?
Oh, he goes hard at the contest. That's what I like about him. He hasn't been able to take a lot of marks so far early in his career, but
Nash towards Logan, who got a fist on it, knocked it down Urquhart. Rawlings corralled a little. Ferrito thought about going to Swallow, and then Bastanak, and then Garlett hands it up. Swallow 60 from goal, puts it inside 50. Carlisle, he towed it to his own advantage. Levi Greenwood tries to thread his way through, drop that. Swallow back to Zeeble, caught. Cunnington, Ferrito. They finally worked it back inside 50. No mark, play on. Garlett just went with it one arm. Carlisle lays a tackle. That's a throw. And he'll get the reward, Garlett, for his second effort.
No, he's paid in the back.
He's paid in the back here, Dwayne.
Okay.
Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I thought that as well was the initial call, but
Well, was the throw before the push in the back?
Maybe. I love this bit of play by Andrew Swallow, though.
Tough.
He is a tough player. Doesn't look a tough player because he's got the baby face, but geez, he plays hard.
Schultz with the fist, knocks it down. Davenport. Roden. Made it tough for Daniel Stewart, but he half-volleyed it nicely. Slick hands. Motlop takes them on Roden. He could use his speed, and he spears it instead. Schultz dives and marks.
Terrific play, David Roden, and Daniel Motlop. They just push forward with those two boys there. They always look dangerous. Great connection, great synergy here. Just see Drew Grimer over the top and Roden again. Clever kick to Schultz. He's leading well, Schultz, out of the square.
He's had a good start, Jay Schultz.
The thing I like about it at the moment, Schultz, he's leading straight up the middle of the ground, so he's giving his midfield a really strong target, something they've missed with Treadray out the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, they haven't had that tall target, have they, really?
Long run in. That's what he has ahead of him. Kicks his second. Port Adelaide lead by 7.
It's a good start by Jay Schultz. He's been around the scene a long time now. Spud, you coached him, you recruited him.
Yeah, look, he's always had a super talent. I can remember one game in my last year. Matthew Richardson was injured. We put him out of the square on Mel Michael up in the Gabba, and he kicked 6. I think it's just the belief factor, just getting that confidence in a consistent effort. And I think you're right. Early on in the season, his work rate was terrific. He hadn't been able to hit the scoreboard. It's a great start today, though, with 2 goals. And of course, there's Dean Laidley there. Coached North Melbourne for 7 years. Had a win.
Where's Choco?
He's there somewhere, but Dean's...
He's not on the bench today, is he? Look, get Smithy to keep an eye out.
He is.
Rowan, is he down on the bench?
No, there he is. There he is. Up the back. He's gone to the second row.
I was looking at Rowan then where I was asking that question to see whether he was keeping an eye on him.
Well, I think it's smart with Dean, you know, he'd know that the strengths and weaknesses of all these North boys.
Swallow from 40, heads toward goal. Spectacular.
Yeah, good reply by North. Really good reply. And Swallow, who has been nice and hard early, we know that, has got on the end of it. Clearance work, stuff lower. So he gets the initial kick, then the follow-up. This is what I like about it. And good play there. Young Cunnington, is it? Yeah, just went in there, caught one for his trouble. But Swallow's added this to his game this year, which he's been able to get forward and kick a few more goals, which becomes really important.
Troy, get over here on this flank. Number 10. Yeah, Ben Cunnington, is it? Waiting.
There's Cunnington there. I think he'll be coming off with the blood rule there, Rowan Smith.
Yeah, definitely coming off, Spuds. He tried to get away with it. He turned his back on the umpire, tried to cover it up, but looks like he's got a nice split above his nose.
Unbelievable tough. Michael Turner, Geelong Falcons, says one of the toughest kids that have come through the Geelong Falcons, and he just saw the reason why he was their first draft pick last year.
One of the reasons he's tough is because he says his biggest influence on his career was Gary Hocking, who was coach of the Geelong Falcons, and of course Gary Hocking, part of the coaching panel at Port Adelaide, now coaching against him.
Well, he's down there in the green outfit there, Dwayne. He's running there for Port Adelaide at the moment, Gary Hocking.
Not allowed to speak to opposition players though when you're out there, even if they're your old boys.
Let's have a look at what happened here. It was a good, tough contest at centre-half forward. You watch him go in after that, bang.
Oh, that's
clash of
unconditional.
heads with Danny Meyer.
That's fantastic, isn't it?
That
the
is,
thing was,
both players, and it was the player that came in with the feet, Mitch Banner, but it was a clash of heads with Danny Meyer.
the thing about both those boys, they knew they were both going to get hurt,
Yeah.
but they still went.
Pearce with the clearance. Schultz leaps. Ball knocked down to Logan. Caught, no prior opportunity. Grimes got him and got him hard. Still in there. And we'll get a ball up.
Nice start to the game. Let's get Rowan Smith to keep an eye on his beak down there. Ben Cunnington. Ever broken a nose, Smithy?
It looks like it, because as he was coming off, he's got a nice split. Looked like it was on the wrong side of his face too, so I think they're just trying to put it back in at the moment.
Motlop, can he get himself in form? Can't spear that in.
It looked like it went off the outside of his boot there, Daniel Motlop. Normally nail those half chances.
Traded by the Roos for picks 28 and 46. Matt Riggio and Travis Baird, who are both now delisted. Good kick in that, right. Takes the mark.
Yeah, Lindsay Times just pushed forward on his own. If they can get it across to him, he's got about 30 metres here.
And Warren hits him with the pass and he can go.
Should take him on here.
From 50, takes on Jack
come on.
Corns. He turned him inside out. Well, he kicked an exact replica of that with his sock last week, and this week had the boot and didn't strike it well enough.
Well, pre-game we were talking about, you've got to overplay his left leg. Talk us through us, Pickers.
All right, now, well, Chad, an experienced player, just need to force him boundary side on his right side. We can always see he's going to swing back inside. And Chad's played enough footy to know, all right, the win here is to me to keep him right on his right foot on the boundary line, not inside to have a shot at goal.
Well, I haven't seen him use his right foot that often. He's that quick, but he won't have to if they keep playing like that.
What do you call it, Dwayne? They use it, right leg's used for balance only?
Yeah, just to stand up properly.
Now let's get down to Smithy while we've got a bit of a stop here. Smithy, Daniel Motlop's body language, we talked about it pre-game. How's he going behind the scenes down there?
Well, Pickers, the thing is, I've been watching Daniel Motlop. He's been pushing up the ground. He's obviously hasn't been in a lot of play, but his body language is just shocking. If someone doesn't use him and doesn't pass the ball to him, he sort of just puts his hands down by his side. He's just got to get back into the game.
So Rowan Smith on Motlop watch today, and this is a huge kick. This Matt Campbell's already got one. North Melbourne has not led yet today, but they could lead in the shadows of quarter time. Not going to lead with that kick. Big fly. Thomas went up, tried to bring the screamer down. Kane Corns pushed and gets a free. Kane Corns, and he was outstanding in round one against North Melbourne. He had 39 possessions in that game, Kane Corns, and Lindsay Thomas has injured that sore knee.
Well, I'm just not quite sure what the instructions for Lindsay Thomas are in this game, because we just see here his right knee heavily bandaged, but seems to be flying for everything at the moment. I'm just not sure whether they're the percentage play for the small forward.
No, it didn't look a lot in that, by the way.
Might have been when he landed.
Maybe.
Daniel Stewart, after Logan made the commitment in the air. Daniel Stewart, little fumble, he's over it. He flicks it. Pratt gives to Zeeble. He sends it long, goal square. North Melbourne's runners in the way, and the mark's been taken by Lindsay Thomas.
You're going to play in front of Lindsay Thomas, you're going to pay the price. It's as simple as that. As we just see here, I think this is where he hurt his knee there. Yeah.
He got a knee onto his knee.
But the marking situation here.
North Melbourne's runner was in the way.
A very good block by the runner. Yeah, very good work.
And Lindsay Thomas kicks the goal to give North Melbourne the lead for the first time today.
Now, it's a good game, and he's kicked a goal. It looks like he's coming off the ground. Rowan Smith there with that right knee heavily bandaged.
Yeah, it was spot on there. Just copped a knock to the knee from Chad Corns. Might have maybe hurt his medial ligament with his knee coming back inside. He's just limping off at the moment.
We just see there on the replay there, Jacob Surge, if you're going to play in front, you better get a piece of the ball, because he's absolutely on fire, Lindsay Thomas. And he's kicked a number of goals in the corridor, and we see why there.
Straight out, boys. Watch out.
Getting some work done on the knee. There was a doubt whether he'd play today. He decided to take his place.
That's the posterior cruciate check they're doing there.
He's been flying for a lot of high marks as well, so he's really tested that knee out nice and early.
Yeah. Thomas bumped off it. Boak just overran it slightly. Still stuck in the middle. And we'll get another ball up.
You've got a fierce midfield, North, when you look at blokes wanting to attack the footy. Zeeble, Cunnington, Swallow. They're hard players. If you can get the players like the Wellses and the Brent Harveys outside of those guys, they've got a nice mix of midfield.
Carr, third man up. Davenport. Boak. Cassisi. Kick touched. You heard the play on call. Off hands. Davenport gets it back. Kicks towards Schultz in the pocket. Gathers and keeps it alive. Oh. Kick not so good. I'm not sure his left is used for anything other than balance normally either. And McIntosh takes the mark.
He missed the ball there.
Up the middle, Urquhart. Floats it wide. Garlett. Wider. Right. They're finishing strongly in this term, North. Started horrendously against Port Adelaide in round one. Found themselves 7 goals down at half-time. This, a lot better start. Carlisle, Boak, Stewart, Boak, Kane Corns. He's got Schultz. Needs to be a good kick. And it is. But it won't be time enough for a Port Adelaide score. Nash called to play on. Quarter time at Etihad Stadium, and North Melbourne has become one of the more watchable teams and exciting teams in the competition over the last month and a half. And they lead by 5 points at the first change, 4-2-26. The Port Adelaide 3-3-21.
Radio 1, 1, 2, and 2 is a spare.
A bit over 6 foot, but yeah, he's a nice size. They are the most heavily scored against team in the last 4 weeks, Port Adelaide, in the second quarter, so they're not a good second quarter team, so they'll need to be a bit better in this game.
Free kick against Cunnington to start this second term.
Conceded 19 goals, Dwayne, in the last 4 weeks in the second quarter. And North aren't a good third quarter team, so set the game up here.
It'll even itself out. They've been kicking against the breeze in the second term. Has that been the problem? Motlop goes hard.
Kicking against the weather.
And spills it. Ferrito toward McIntosh on the wing. Can't take possession. Carlisle knocks it out.
One thing that Mark Williams is doing lately, the coaching staff, be happy with Port kicking efficiency, went at 85%.
Yep.
The last 4 weeks they've been going about 58, so that's a real positive start. And you can expect in these conditions under the roof here at Etihad.
Absolutely.
Brogan with the lockdown. Thomas, Pearce spoke. Boundary line looming. Cunnington hunts him down. Harvey, wobbler toward half forward. Stewart dropped it. Warren pounces. Could have given the handball off. Shorts it to Hanson in the pocket.
It's a good mark. That's a really clever mark. Chad saying, I think it hit the ground,
wasn't it?
And the umpire said, you know what, Chad, I'm right here, mate. He marked it. I'm standing 5 metres from you. You can see him there, the umpire. And very
good kick, too, outside of the foot. Did he touch it on the deck?
I reckon it did hit the deck.
Oh, yes.
Fumble.
You can see how close the umpire was.
It's a huge divot as well.
Massive divot.
Kick one in the opening term. Lockie Hanson. So he might be on with his accuracy today, but we know he's 50-50 at best. And that's 4 goals, 6 for the year.
You can see his run up there, Dwayne, and it's okay to have some ball movement when you're running in, when the ball's going up and down over your kicking leg, but it went left to right, so there's a lot of ball movement there at the ball drop. So
yeah, there's not a lot of stability there when he's actually putting the ball onto his boot.
I was lucky enough to see that, you know, probably the greatest goal kicker of all time, Lockett, his arse, the ball never moved. It never moved out of his hand at all when it hit the foot.
Stewart went high, couldn't take the mark. Greenwood gives it off. Pratt doesn't kick a lot of goals, doesn't kick one here. Harvey had it but lost it. Cassisi, Pearce turns it over. Roden, who hunts it back down again to his own advantage. Also Thomas with him. Hip and shoulder from Surgeon. Gives Roden some room. Oh, he's pile driven into the turf. Free kick. It's up a little sore. David Roden. Play on, and that's horrible. Warren gives it up. Urquhart, a sidestep, and from 50. Can't make them pay. 2 behinds in a row for North Melbourne.
Let's have a look at this divot here. The big Lockie's dished
Left knee.
And umpire thinks, oh, I'll actually sort that out. Oops. A little bit of a trip.
Umpire just said, where that clump of dirt, don't trip on it. As was shown the vision. So, gave Carlisle the warning. And Trengo took the mark.
It's a Shepherd.
Brogan gets the free.
Yeah, good decision.
Yeah, good decision there.
Brady Rawlins had nothing other than taking him out of the contest on his mind.
Well, they've got to do that. He had 37 hit-outs against North Melbourne in round 1, Dean Brogan.
He's had a good start today too, the big fella.
Carlisle wide to Surgeon.
North Melbourne using their ruckman from the centre square to the goal square, basically. So Goldstein and McIntosh, when they're not on the ball, they're deep in the goal square rather than resting them on the interchange bench, trying to get some value for their height.
His ruck numbers can be deceiving. Goldstein had 21 hit-outs last week, but only 2 went to North Melbourne's advantage. So
yeah, it's a good
kind of
stat.
defeats the purpose of winning the ruck knock.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, you just talk numbers, purely numbers.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been so impressed with Jamar this year at Melbourne. It's just some of his work, in particular with Maloney.
I noticed that you guys in the pre-game didn't put Shane Mumford into your All-Australian calculations either. He's had an outstanding year.
He'd be
as well.
third.
Yeah,
He's the third ruckman, because certainly Jamar's ahead of him, in my view.
Wells kick touched. Chad Corns, Boak gives it back. Logan. Cassisi. Kick smothered. Lindsay Thomas, brilliant. Can he back it up? Cassisi dives on it, shuffles it out. Stewart gets him out of trouble. Logan, they get away with it, Port Adelaide. Kane Corns short. Brogan again.
It's going to be a good game. Paul Stewart down the fence. He's had 10 disposals already. You just see here, Lindsay Thomas, terrific smother. Outstanding smother.
Brogan plays on, almost touched. Scott Thompson almost plucked it. Goes back in and almost fights for the ball with Cunnington. Levi Greenwood threw a couple and bounced off a few. Bastanak, short. Swallow. Stood in the hole. Gives it off. Goldstein. Just talking about him. Can he add a goal to his repertoire? We know he likes to kick them. And a 5-goal game.
One thing I like about his
name,
Dwayne, he gets forward. He gets dangerous as a ruckman. A lot of ruckmen are just intent, sitting behind the play and let things evolve, but he gets dangerous. That's what I like about Todd Goldstein.
7 points the margin with this kick to come. Strikes it nicely. And just to behind. 8-point margin, the biggest lead of the game. If you've just joined us, late changes for Port Adelaide, Chaplin out, Nash in. And for the Kangaroos, McMahon out, Urquhart in. Carr, one of the 5 ins for Port Adelaide this week, and none of them were enforced. They are all changes that Port Adelaide hierarchy said needed to be made. Banner hacks it to half forward. Daniel Stewart takes the mark. Motlop, he'd be a little nervous. He'd be a bit worried about his form. Opens up the angle, and that's ugly.
Just got to be disciplined here. They're going to get in your face, Daniel.
Probably had too much time on this one. He's an instinctive player, Daniel. Schultz was on his own on the top of the square. I think he was in two minds whether to hit him or go for the goal. I think the option was to nail it, the goal, but he just had too much time.
You could see the demons in his mind as he was running.
It was above the shoulders, that kick, Wayne. It was
absolutely
spot on.
And he has, I've said it before, he doesn't own his magic, Daniel Motlop. It comes and goes when it wants, and Frito let him know, and he gives him a hug for it.
He was actually he did that pretty well. This time last week, you would have got a bit undisciplined.
I just saw Jay Schultz there. Jay Schultz went over and gave him a tap on the back just to keep his body language up, and that's good play there from Schultz.
Trengove with the ruck knock. Wright shuffled it out. Roden keeps his feet brilliantly there. Keeps the ball alive toward full forward. Schultz, Harvey, Cassisi through legs. Banner, Hitchcock, known goal kicker, spins that around the body. Superb. He's got 2.
Well, great finish by the young fella Hitchcock, but great play by David Roden to not go to the ground. It was a good call, Dwayne. Everyone else went to ground. He just forced it forward. You have a look here. He came into the contest, and this is the actual goal bit, and very nice finish around the corner.
Opportunist, 2 kicks, 2 goals.
Yep.
There's your modern-day goal snake. A half chance out of the stoppage there. That'd be disappointing for the North on ballers there.
One of the 3 players playing for Port Adelaide today who started the season on the rookie list but upgraded. Danny Meyer, Daniel Stewart, Cameron Hitchcock. Port Adelaide with a few injuries this year. And they haven't been all that good since Warren Treadray's been out of the team. And the ball up. McIntosh got a fingernail on it. Free kick's been found. Umpire's gone down.
He has gone down.
Scott McLaren.
He's all right.
OK, he says mine. Umpire Scott McLaren, Chris Camelons and Troy Pennell today. Done a pretty good job so far. Another good bounce. McIntosh front spot. Roden caught. Dropped it.
Knock it out. Hit it clear. Mine now.
Scott McLaren pleading for them to knock it out.
There's Daniel Pratt there. He's loose behind the ball, playing in front of Motlop and Schultz. So you can see if Port win the ball here, they've got to be careful. And for Jay Nash for Port up the other end. So both sides electing to have a free at this stoppage.
McIntosh gets it out to Garlett. Turns it over. Logan wasn't a decisive handle, so Garlett goes back in. Shuffles it in Harvey's direction. Roden, nice shepherd. Cassisi. Brilliant tackle, Swallow. Had prior opportunity. Play on advantage. Garlett sends it inside 50. Hanson.
Good grab. Terrific grab there. Chad Corns had to use the body a bit stronger there. I think he was looking for the free kick, looking at the screen, but I thought it was just good use of the body. I think the kick was just far too good. You will see here, this is why North are going forward, just the hardness and the toughness of Andrew Swallow. It's the reason why he won last year's best and fairest. Just have a look at the marking situation here. Just good use of the body. Went to ground far too easily there, Chad.
Already has one. He now has two. And North Melbourne a 7-point lead.
Yeah, it was a good call, Sparty. The kick was a beauty, I thought, and he needed to just come back with a bit more intensity than he did. Stop looking at the board, Chad. You really need to hold your ground there. This was a great tackle by Swallow. And once Swallow tackle forced the turnover, a good play by Garlett, and just good body use by a young player that looks pretty natural to me.
Well, Chad at the know he's cooked. They had to go hard back.
2 goals to Lockie Hansen. People like cooking Chad Corns, don't they? It's not everybody's taste. He's the Turkish delight in the helps of all sorts.
I like Chad, but I just didn't like the way that he went to ground on the body contact.
Did you say he's in a Turkish delight?
He is.
I actually like Chad Corns. I think he's had a wonderful career, but he just needs to be a bit better then, that's all. What was he doing?
Turkish delight from his
What, in the box of
He's not
roses?
everybody's taste. Some people love him.
You can't bag Turkish delight, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Surely, it's beautiful.
I like it too, Smithy.
As opposed to Daniel Motlop, the hard centre that you break your teeth on in the end. Wobbly ball to half forward. Warren, caught, got it up. Stewart, Carr, Nash floats it wide. Trengove on the move. Bounce didn't favour him. Favoured Pratt. Gets through Trengove. Garlett. Half back. Shoots it off to Wells. Runs himself out of trouble. Clever bounce. Bumped after the handball. Free kick downfield.
Well done, Daniel Wells. Taking the game on. That's what I like. He's getting hard tagged. Kane Corns there, you can see, getting goal side of Daniel Wells, but I like it, the fact that they're giving the ball now, North. They're giving the ball even though he's getting tagged. I think that's been the big improvement under Brad Scott's coaching with Daniel Wells.
Harvey wide to Warren.
We saw his speed there. That's
Harvey
the key,
again.
isn't it?
Well, here's the two lads getting tagged. Brent Harvey and Daniel Wells having an impact.
McIntosh had the reach.
And that's why, because they use the ball so well, and this will be his third goal assist if he nails this McIntosh to Brent Harvey. Brent Harvey's had the 11 disposals, and there's Daniel Wells taking the Port guys on. Yeah, too late with that Shepherd. And then the ball goes forward to Brent Harvey. Beautiful way to kick the McIntosh.
The finger was pointed at McIntosh round one when he had that horror one possession first half and Port Adelaide opened up that 7-goal first half lead. He's an important contributor, Hamish McIntosh, and this for the biggest lead of the game. Punch it out to 13. That's the Levi Greenwood wobbler.
It didn't look that flash off the boot, but it just wobbled its way through. Harvey involved. A couple of passages of play with Wells and Harvey involved. Big body, Sparty did it well. Then he just put the elbow, the arm out, the bumper bar.
Well, that's the two ruckmen, Goldstein and McIntosh, are both pushed forward and had shots on goal. And again, Brent Harvey, even though he's getting heavily tagged, he's had 3 goal assists. So he's just about the best player on the ground at the moment, Brent Harvey, with his ball use.
Harvey having a rest. Game 292.
He just has not lost his speed at all, Brent Harvey. He's been a super player.
Slip from Carr. Lower goes in.
Nice
They dive on him.
Nice little break here, Dwayne.
Holding the ball against Lower.
Yeah, it's an important time for Port now, Liam. You just think the game has been played on North's terms at the moment.
Chad Corns runs himself into trouble. Banner gets him out of it. Hands it up. Dispossessed Danny Meyer.
Well, he's got a bandage on his head as well from that clash with Cunnington, Danny Meyer. So both players sporting a little wound.
North Melbourne out of trouble. Rawlings, half back.
We've got nothing long here, Brady. Not sure
Runs
he's
with a
going to
couple
kick
of
it.
bounces. Kicks it up high in hope. Zeeble has to go, and Nash got there first.
Well, he's the loose player in the back half for Port. That's what you've got to do if you're loose. Get back and impact the high ball.
Surgeon kicks it back in the Schultz direction.
he's
I
judged
misread that terribly. Grimer. Cunnington over the head of McIntosh. Chased down by Motlop. Urquhart. Pratt. And they're on here at North Melbourne. They've got the spare men. Bastanak wide. Greenwood inside 50. Lindsay Thomas.
Well, you could just see Jacob Surgeon there. He did not let him go side, but then Thomas used him as a launching pad to lead. That's why the leg rope was broken there. You might get a look at behind the screen here. It's Jay Schultz. Not sure whether he misread it. Let's hope he misread it and not try to misread that on purpose and get under the high ball. But just see the ball use of North. And Lindsay Thomas just pushes off Jacob Surgeon here. Didn't quite see it on the camera, and that's why the leg rope there was 15 metres.
Lindsay Thomas, like Levi Greenwood, a former Port Adelaide Magpie in the SANFL, from 50, slightly across the face. Hansen nearly marked that, tapped it to his own advantage. Campbell trapped in the pocket, and Carr content to see it out.
Down to Rowan Smith. Some changes for Port Adelaide.
Yeah, Daniel Motlops came straight from the bench. I'm just a little bit disappointed in Daniel Motlop. I think he's a fantastic player. He's come to the ground. He's hardly had any impact. Just had a little bit of a laugh to himself on the ground. So,
jeez, you're cooking him, Smithy. You're going him today. No, swallow across the goal.
I respect him, Dwayne. I think he's a fantastic player. But, yeah, just don't like his demeanour at the moment.
Gee, riding him all day. Port Adelaide wide. Davenport. It's okay.
He's calling as he sees it.
Exactly. Fair enough.
And I think the coaching staff will be wondering, do we slip him behind the ball, Daniel Motlop, or put him on the ball for 5 minutes? I'm not sure whether he's got the work rate to do that, but for Port to win this game, something needs to spark Daniel Motlop's mojo. And we know he's an exciting player.
He's had 4 possessions for the game. He's kicked 2 points, so he could really have 2 goals.
Daniel Pearce also having a rest for Port Adelaide.
Well, he's the leading possession.
Yeah, he's been their best player, Daniel Pearce.
Logan
touches.
Wide. Trengove couldn't mark. Harvey tried to get a kick away and was held a long time. Kane Corns, Bastanak, Harvey bounced up, gave to Greenwood. Wells. Grimer. So back to go forward. Scott Thompson. Clever not to take the step there and be called to play on. Daniel Stewart was lurking behind him, and Lower just off the bench. Ed Lower, his brother Nick, was on Port Adelaide's list until he was delisted at the end of last year. Twin brother, and taken out.
Well, the game is played on North's terms and their ball use. It's an uncontested game of football, let's face it. There's only been 3 contested marks for the game. There hasn't been a lot of tackles, a lot of clearances, so...
Lower turns it over. Hitchcock runs through a tackle. Cassisi to Carr. Can he hit Schultz? He goes longer. Davenport in the goal square. Ferrito. Davenport comes at him and almost corrals him in the end. Forces the handball over the top. Rawlings to Lower.
Well, that long kick, that's where they missed Treadray. That long kick just went to nowhere, and Treadray is smart enough to read that long kick under pressure because he's built his game on contested marks.
Greenwood, Urquhart, went with the one hand there. Ball tied up under the pack, it comes out. Trengove, Thomas.
That'll be easy.
Floats it up to Schultz. One-on-one, Grimer, Schultz, Ferrito makes it a 2-on-2 with Davenport. Cleverly takes it out. Disguised it well enough.
We talked about the impact Brent Harvey's having on the game. Kane Corns has now gone off Wells and onto Harvey, and Cassisi's gone off Harvey and onto Wells. So Wells may get busy here. With Harvey and Kane Corns will be a really nice matchup.
Goldstein with the reach on Trengove for the ruck contest. Urquhart to the wing. A little push by Carlisle and Hansen. Chad Corns, the flick back. Surgeon. Some space to use. Uses it wisely. Kane Corns. Again, inside 50. Schultz from 4 deep. Forced to punch.
Good play, Schultz.
Greenwood the crumb. Rawlings. Urquhart. Bastanak. North Melbourne, all the answers at the moment. Rawlings got that for 2 high. No play on advantage allowed. It'll come back to Lower.
We've had over 95 marks.
Yeah, it's
3 contested.
All uncontested stuff today.
That's the way the game's played. And the way North are dissecting through Port's defence versus Port through North's. Port don't look like taking contested mark inside their forward 50, so they have to use the ball really well.
Well to Zeeble.
Get the ball into the hands of the good ball users. That's the key.
Smothered by Thomas. Found Urquhart. Sends it long. The other Thomas, North Melbourne's version, can't take the mark. Campbell ran into a big tackle. He had Pryor.
What a great tackle that was, Dwayne.
Well, it was against Surgeon's 2 efforts. He actually competed in the marking contest there on Lindsay Thomas, and then on his
Turnover here. Goldstein takes the mark. Sorry, guys. Big mistake there, Port Adelaide.
Well, it was, because we're talking about the outstanding effort from Jacob Surgeon, and all of a sudden the ball's turned over. So, again, this is a big let off here. We can see why. Just a long kick. It wasn't a great option there.
Poor option. Is that a sider here for you, Dwayne?
He has, and he just missed it from about 5 metres further out. So should nail this. No, he's hit his own finger with a nail.
When Jason Davenport was calling for that ball, all the space between him and the boundary line, he had to run hard to the boundary line to give the kicker an option to kick between him. And because he was stationary, it was always an easy pick-off for North Melbourne.
He almost had his foot over the line then when he kicked in.
That was a good spoil by Baston.
Yeah. Biggest lead of the game, 14 points as it stands right now. Time on second term. Ryan Bastanak, who made his AFL debut against Port round 1 this year and having a good season. Good first season at North Melbourne. Warren gives it back to Bastanak on cue. Lower. Warren left it behind. Good attack, Daniel Stewart. He'll shuffle out from Nash. Zeeble twists into trouble, drops it. Hard Danny Meyer wins himself a free kick.
Yeah, that's his go, Danny Meyer. Needs to keep himself in this team. Got a lot of talent. That's the sort of stuff. He's already got one knock to the head, which was the Cunnington one. Great attack on the ball.
Schultz with the fly. Can't mark Assisi. Trying to give it slickly to Hitchcock. Right. Rawlings. Bastanak all the way back to half-back. Gets it from Garlett. Goes back to full-back. Motlop. Big leap Wells over Motlop. Motlop off the ground. And it's just not working for him at the moment. But at least he worked hard to make something of that.
He's kicked through behinds now. And it was good courage. Good courage to get onto the ball. Great second effort.
It's going to hurt on the turnover, boys.
Soccer team could have done with that skill last night.
Ferrito gives it up. Garlett. Long and the reach. Kane Corns on Harvey.
What's the matchup you called a couple of minutes ago, Pickers? And a bit stronger overhead than Dominic Kasusi. Kane Corns.
Well, Daniel Wells playing deep defence on Daniel Motlop with an empty forward line. It'll be an interesting matchup. It goes in, they're going to run for it. Both with plenty of speed. I don't think that'll be too long before they get Wells up the ground.
Yeah, I think they'll be looking for Michael Ferritos, who's
Greenwood
up the ground at the moment.
Hansen. Zeeble will have to go. Does. Good contest with Brogan. Chad Corns went for the boundary line. He had to chase his own ball down.
That was well done, Chad.
Oh, well weighted. Kept in by Ferrito. They're alive again. Little knock. Rawlings. Cunnington. Zeeble. Pocket. Warren.
Good ball use. He did pretty well there, Chad Corns. He was outnumbered in the end, 3-1. He didn't have an option.
Just not prepared to concede it.
But you're right, Dwayne, but you've got to ask the question of the half-forwards for Port. Where were they to give Chad Corns a chop out for a release kick? They knew he was under pressure. Had to do all the work himself.
10 goals, 6 this season. Ben Warren. That's the gap he has to work with. And nearly. Let's head downstairs, Ron Smith.
Dwayne, Daniel Stewart just looks like he's rolled his ankle. He's just getting that re-strapped as we speak, just at the back of the interchange bench.
Thanks for that, Smithy. Port Adelaide trying to work it outside defensive 50. Logan, Thomas, Trengove, and Motlop gets some boos from the team that once cheered him. Kick smothered, gets a cheer for that. Carr. Davenport, dragged down. Carr runs into Swallow, and we'll get a ball up. Having a good game, Andrew Swallow. Is his young brother better?
His young brother's very good. We'll see him next year. He'll be the #1 draft pick this year. Committed to the Gold Coast already. He's going to be definitely taken with one of the first 3, but he'll go #1 in my mind.
Garlett trying to thread his way through. Rawlings back. Wells.
He's bigger.
That handball away. He's bigger. Okay.
He's bigger. That's the other one thing I will say. And very powerful player.
Swallow, Cunnington, Bastanak, Wells all working to see it out of play on defensive 50.
It's like always the brothers. Isn't the youngest one always better? Well, this kid, I have seen a lot of his brother, Andrew Swallow's younger brother. He's a very good player.
Yes, I kept saying that after Troy and Adam Selwood, and Joel proved to be pretty good.
Yeah, he's been
Hitchcock.
Okay player, Joel.
Goal square, Ferrito with the punch down. A race on. Davenport and Pratt. Pratt used his body brilliantly.
Too strong there,
Pratt.
Pratt.
Exactly. Grimer back to Pratt, who can go. Davenport overcommitted with the attempted tackle. Kick inboard, Garland, and they've opened it up beautifully. Campbell gets it from lower. Hanson calls for an inside 50. Playing in front though, Stewart. Hanson about to pounce again. Little fumble, but picked it. Sends it to the pocket. Lindsay Thomas punched away. Campbell. McIntosh, Campbell, centering kick, Chad calls.
We did talk about they were a very poor second quarter team early in this early in this quarter. They've only conceded 2 goals, Port Adelaide, so they're well and truly in it.
It's true, they've only kicked 1 themselves.
Well, let's try to be nice.
Yes, true, the positive side. Glass, you're a glass half full kind of guy.
Yeah, when I want to be.
40 seconds left. Port Adelaide trying to mount a late challenge for a score. Carr sticks to the line. Motlop, he sticks to the line, and is that deliberate?
I don't think it was.
Okay, Cassisi was in the area. You very rarely get deliberate paid against forwards.
It's very rare, very rare that forwards deliberately kick it out of bounds.
True. 27 seconds left. McIntosh and Brogan down to Carr, got a slipper on it. Cunnington almost threw that away, did throw it away. Port Adelaide do get a chance for a late score.
Well, it was a goal. So is that advantage, or that he blew the whistle before the kick?
On the kick, Chris.
Good tackle.
He did kick that too.
Yeah, well, Motlop threw it away, so he threw it through the handball.
Well,
So if you take the free kick sequentially, Port Adelaide lucky to have it with Josh Carr. 4th game of the season, Josh Carr, just turned 30 years of age. Big kick this. North Melbourne have their biggest lead of the game, 14 points. Siren about to sound. And he hits the post on the siren. North Melbourne holds sway at the big change. 13 points the margin. Crucial game for both clubs. 6-7, 43. Plays 4-6, 30.
Type of player that can really turn this game on its ear.
Second half about to get underway. McIntosh and Brogan. Perfect bounce. Brogan with the palm, Swallow with the knock on, and Pearce with the clearance. Tough one to mark. Good fist from Grimer. Motlop reached for it, knocked it down. Schultz almost a throw. Trengo thrown off it. Ball still alive. Scott Thompson to Pratt. Rawlings. Zeeble. Greenwood. Worked it outside 50 all with handball. Hanson down from half forward. Good handball off to Zeeble. Takes them on. Got caught.
That was
back
a good
to
handball.
Campbell, and they're away. Bounces away from Pearce. Gave him a push. Lindsay Thomas back to Campbell. This would be amazing if he kicks it from here. From 45 out. That's off the scale.
Talking about Daniel Motlop erupting. Well, Matty Campbell just took the game on. The game needed something. We just see here Zeeble, good strong play there, stood up in the tackle. Give it to Matty Campbell. Now he takes the game on and he gets the ball there to Lindsay Thomas. And the Port player just there had no chance. He just kept running hard towards goal, and that's just impossible to stop. There's not a lot Danny Mai could do in that situation. Terrific goal, brilliant.
Pretty happy with himself there, Matty Campbell. A good goal, he's kicked 2 as well. Mixing it around at the moment, the North boys. Great handball from half-back all the way along.
Perfect start. North Melbourne, their biggest lead of the game. 19 points. Zeeble caught high. And it was his iPod music North were listening to pre-game, Jack Zeeble. He got to pick the numbers, and he kicks it inside 50 to Harvey. Little sidestep, a shimmy and a goal. Brilliant to watch.
Oh, that's outstanding. 3-goal assist to Brent Harvey. Club spent a lot of time on tackling, pressure, corralling. You just see here Zeeble, he's been involved in the last 2 goals because of his hardness, and that's a positive sign there. And you just see the leader, Lindsay Thomas. Brent Harvey grabs the ball and sells the dummy to Jacob Surge. Just had to nail the hips. How long have we seen Brent Harvey sell the dummy to players over his 14-year career?
Good goal to Harvey. It's not often you give the responsibility of geeing the team up to a young player.
I was going to ask you
Jack
about...
Zeeble was given that opportunity pre-game.
Sure what sort of music the boy from Wodonga would be dishing up.
It wasn't Rocky. It was actually a track called We Speak No Americano, if you know it, which is almost as annoying as the Crazy Frog. But the boys down there liked it.
Well, interesting. Not sure what they'd be sort of bopping to up away.
Rocky's out. Eye of the Tiger, no more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chariots of Fire?
I wouldn't even know what that is. Zeeble gets it on cue. Thomas steals it back. Boak inside 50, Motlop and Schultz. And Schultz takes the mark.
Michael Burrito looking at the umpire saying, you can see him talk to the umpire.
He said you weren't even watching.
The frustration playing at full back. I can understand his frustration. Centre clearances, that's been one positive Port today. We didn't see whether Schultz was hanging on, but one thing about Schultz, he's led hard out of the goal square.
Umpire's doing comedy now.
Yeah.
For his 3rd, spears it through, keeps Port Adelaide alive.
Yeah, you mentioned the centre clearances, Spud. 6-2 at half-time. That was a really important clearance. It was a bit of a wobbler from Travis Boak. Zeeble looked like he was out. Just tried to flick it over the head. Thomas to Boak. Bit of a floater. And I'm not sure what he was asking for. It was 5 metres off him. I'm not sure what sort of free kick he thought he was going to get. But Schultz now with his 3rd goal has been an important player today. Especially with, as you say, with a bit of a mix-up in their forward line. They've had to rejig it a little bit. It's a good goal. Important too.
Back to 19 points.
You can see Michael Ferrito there. As a fullback, you know you're done and dusted, but you'll still try and use some excuse as a fullback.
I was being held while I was 5 metres away.
That's right. From the ball up. Clearance for Greenwood to half forward. Bouncing ball.
At the back here.
Surgeon, a little fumble. Hansen tried to peel back onto it. Lindsay Thomas ducked his head according to the umpire. Free kick's been found. Play on advantage, Port Adelaide.
He's been terrific, Jacob Surgeon, on Lindsay Thomas today.
Kane Corns to Daniel Stewart.
Well, Lindsay Thomas only had the 5 disposals, 1 goal, 1. He had 12 shots on goal last week, Thomas. So Surgeon, he's 100th.
Just got to get it on.
At Thomas.
Schultz is on
Nash.
again here.
And Schultz can go, flies, palms it down. Modlock got a fingernail on it. Pratt, Ferrito, Rawlings. Under siege, goes back. Ferrito, not a lot of room to work with. Garlett's his outlet, finds him. Nice pass.
It's a good kick.
Greenwood thumps it to the wing. Hansen Corns. The old and the new. And the new wins it.
Hands in the back to Lockie Hansen there. You can see the kick was very good to Lockie Hansen. It had Kane Corn searching, and you just see his hand in the back of Lockie Hansen there. Well picked up by the umpire.
Wells inside to Pratt. They're inspired at the moment, North Melbourne. They know they've got blood here. Ferrito long. McIntosh over the back. Garlett first onto it. Gathers, goes, goals. Gorgeous.
A fantastic front and square. That's just good power football. McIntosh, the ruckman are pushing forward all day. McIntosh, you were pointing at figures a lot earlier, was there. Goldstein pushing forward. Garlett getting there. Not sure whether it was a gorgeous goal, but it was exquisite skill over the top. Thomas having a quiet one now. Campbell's kicked 2. So they're spreading the goals around North Melbourne. Great front and square goal there. Had the 17 disposals too, and he kicked the goal there, Cruz Garlett. So that's a terrific game.
He's been involved in a lot of link-up play with handball in particular. He's only had 4 kicks, but he's been involved in a lot of that link-up sort of stuff off right up the ground rather than playing as deep as he normally is.
So Dean Ladley in the Port Adelaide box watching on. 300 games as a player and a coach of North Melbourne, 1 premiership and 7 years as a coach. And he's part of the reason perhaps that North Melbourne are playing well this year.
Yeah, you're right, and the spread of goal kickers, 7 goal kickers for North, only 2 for Port. That's the big difference at the moment. 9 goals. Schultz has kicked 3 for Port and Hitchcock 2.
Pearce runs away, kicks to full forward. Schultz got hands on it. Little roll forward. Danny Meyer. Boy, did they need that.
Yeah, very good play by Port. Got it in long and strong. It was a good contest by Schultz and Danny Meyer, who's pushed forward. By the looks of that, Schultz really should have marked that, and Meyer did really well. He can play at both ends of the ground, Danny Meyer, half forward, half back. Play on the wing. He's been playing very well sandful footy. Of course, we see he got that heavy knock on the head at Ben Cunnington, but at least they've been able to respond twice now, Port Adelaide, when it looked like North was going to skip away.
First game of the year for Port for Danny Meyer after 3 last year.
I'd like to see him get a string of games. Saw him at Richmond, he was in and out of the team, and I just wonder, you say, right, and it's tough when you're trying to get in the finals. You know what, I'm going to give you 6 games of football to see what you've got.
17 games in 4 seasons at Richmond, so didn't have an opportunity to develop regular footy there either.
Because it comes self-fulfilling, Dwayne. When you're in and out of the team, all of a sudden you say, well, I'm just sort of making up the numbers. But the coach says, right, I'm giving you 6 to see what you've got you can show us.
It's a big gamble to say I'm going to give you 6, though, if he plays terribly in 1 and 2.
No, I understand that, and that's been his CV all through his career. As you said, not a lot of games in 4 years.
Greenwood to Wells. He has a bounce, sizes it up, has 2. Goal square's open, should finish it off. He tried the handball and Chad Corns was waiting for it. Banner, Boat, Logan. He did read that well. Chad Corns gets a possession of his trouble. It's not 15.
It was the last bounce that he got himself in strife there, Daniel Wells. He really didn't need to bounce it.
Well, when you bounce, your eyes are down, and you lose the vision of what's up in the forward line.
Stewart, Banner, Carlisle, Surgeon, Davenport.
Oh, Daniel!
This is where North have really held Port up around the middle of the ground. They haven't had a lot of flow through the corridor and through the middle of the ground. North have really protected the middle of the ground extremely well today.
Daniel Pearce called to play on, used his time. Chip kick Surgeon, just the required 15. Kane Corns.
Carlisle's on the middle.
And little fumble, and he has to go. Logan. Some space to use. Motlop loops it back to Carlisle. Needs to hit a target. Boat attacked it nicely, but the half volley not right. Rawlings got it from Grimer, gave it to Harvey. Zeeble long. Lindsay Thomas lurking. Strapping on the knees, not quite right. And he beats Chad Corns, hands down. Can kick the goal or give the pass. Lower the pass. Half volley. And he kicks a behind.
We did extremely well, Chad Corns, about 60 seconds ago on Daniel Wells. And when you play on Lindsay Thomas, you see here the corralling of Corns. That was super. That was super play there.
Yeah.
But then this one here, if you don't get a piece of the ball on Lindsay Thomas, you know he's going to get goal side quicker than any crumbing forward in the game at the moment.
Risky kicking.
Yeah, Surgeon straight down the middle. Chad Corns attacked it with Bright.
It might come off.
Daniel Stewart to Davenport, caught by Garlett. Shuffle it out. Danny Meyer, long goal square on his own boat.
And Schultz has got this.
And it's a floating handball, but Schultz gathered and goes. Port Adelaide hitting back.
we talk about risk for reward, and that kick-in was extremely dangerous. But with all the players up the ground, if you can actually win the 50-50 ball, look at this. Look at the loose players inside your forward line.
Well, you know what it does? It makes you compete. And we've had an uncontested game, so that long kick down the middle, at least you know you're going to get a contest. And as you know, a lot of the forwards in the north zone are up the ground, and 2 forwards will always be 2-on-1. So as you said, if you can win that 50-50 ball and get it down the middle of the ground, that's the quickest way home. So high risk, high return there. As I said, Schulte's having a day out now, 4 goals. So we desperately wanted someone to fill the void of Warren Treadrake. And Jay Schultz is having a very, very good game.
Brad Scott, 168 games, superstar player. And he would have been happy with what he saw early in this term, but not late. It's back to a 14-point margin. The margin was 13 at half-time. Brogan hands it off. Davenport wider. Carr, can he hit a target?
Here he is again.
Schultz lurking. He's got 4. Gives it up. Matt Thomas spins it around, but not enough. In fact, it was probably appropriate. Josh Carr got that ball on cue with Brad Scott on the screen as we see Schultz with that quick fire handball. Josh Carr and Brad Scott, old adversaries. Josh Carr, one of his 11 guilty verdicts for hitting Brad Scott in the grand final. Chad Corns and Goldstein. Corns used his body, hands well. Nash caught. Garlett looked to have prior opportunity there. Umpire let him off.
Talk about some numbers at half-time. The one area Port Adelaide have been very good today is the centre square. It's 10-4 out of the middle. And that's an area North need to address. Your quick kicks inside your forward line. If it gets in there quick enough, hard yards for the defence.
Carr, Roden to Carr. Keeps it alive. Davenport. Meyer, centering kick. Schultz is the hot man. Punch down. Motlop tried to steal it. Schultz still there. Grimer caught by Hitchcock. Rolls it towards Rawlings. Motlop. Here we go. Gives it up to Hitchcock. Tried to get it back again to Motlop. Does. Motlop flicks it through his legs. Bastanak caught by Logan. Ball still alive. Pearce. Banner kicks toward goal. Ferrito gets a fist on it.
Well, Mark Williams,
get a ball in.
Motlop hasn't had a great game, but send the runner out to him now, so that's the work rate's required. Don't worry about hitting the scoreboard. Keep that work rate up, and you'll hit the scoreboard. Don't worry about that.
And he was unselfish as well. Goldstein and Trengove go at the ruck contest. Trengove free kick to Goldstein. Right. Kick wide, Hansen. She was edged in the side there by Carlisle.
Well, that's what Big Alapati's saying. Playing a couple of little games out there.
Oh, he thought himself.
He wasn't having a bar of that, Lockie Hansen.
Fist by Logan. Another 3. It's time to Harvey. 13 points the margin is.
It's a dangerous little time here, a little period for North Melbourne. Port Adelaide got their tails up a bit here.
Carlisle and Hansen. Carlisle with the fist. And the boundary line beats them all.
Because we spoke just before the game about Daniel Pearce. A North Melbourne player for the last 5 minutes hasn't gone near him at the moment. I think he's opposed to Swallow, but Daniel Pearce is such an important player, and he's getting Port Adelaide back into this game.
Well, he was well held last week, 15 possessions for the game, but he got away in the third quarter and had 9 possessions in that quarter alone of his 15. So he is one man who can get them back. And here he is on cue. Gets another possession along the wing to half forward. Ferrito got hands to it. And ball rolls out of play.
Well, there are some players you don't want the ball in their hands, and if you're the opposition, then Daniel Pearce is probably the #1 player from a Port Adelaide perspective.
18 possessions so far today. He's already eclipsed his 15 from last week.
And 14 of those are kicks.
Yeah.
There's 4 inside 50s to go with that.
Cunnington rolled it towards Lindsay Thomas. Handball good. Burkhardt, long thump, a one-on-one. Hansen, Carlisle, fist wins out. Hansen had him, Swallow, trapped the handball, floats a kick, not the required distance. Bastanak from Harvey.
Forward pressure wins you games of football, and that'll be on the highlights package for North Melbourne. You see here Carlisle under extreme pressure. Great tackle from Lockie Hansen. Just created a goal. And Swallows' kick was clever because it went inboard. It was just a quick kick into the corridor, which really did open up. You see here the second effort, Lockie Hansen. Carlisle did well early, but it was just his ability to swoop on the ball. Swallows' little kick into the corridor to Harvey, who again has now had 4 goal assists. Bastanek there. He's had the 12 disposals, kicked a goal, but Brent Harvey's kicked a goal this quarter. He's had 4 goal assists now, so he's been the danger man for Port all day. What about the interchanges, Rowan Smith? Is there any difference in the interchanges?
Well, Spud, North are rotating a lot heavier than Port at the moment. So North have had 75 and Port have only had the 53 at this point.
Roden with the clearance, but Ferrito traps it nicely. Kick wide. Race on. Davenport, Pratt. And Pratt gets an easy free.
Yeah, that was sloppy by Jackson Davenport. I know he thought, well, the ball's out of bounds, so he still push a bloke in the back. The umpire's going to ping you every time.
And games can hinge on things like that. Bastanak inboard. McIntosh, good centering kick. Bouncing ball attacked by Boak. Back to Surgeon. Not a lot to go to. Logan is it. And luckily he took the mark and it was 15. Carr. Nash. Wells got up, thumped it down. Opportunity again. Swallow, short, Hansen.
Again, defensive pressure. The defensive pressure is why the scoreboard is North's favourite at the moment. Just the little things. The spoils, the tackles. We saw Lockie Hansen put a tackle on Carlisle for the last goal it created, and now he gets the dividend here. And terrific spoil there from Lindsay Thomas. And again, that's great work rate. So Brett's got to say, you know what? He did a tackle before, he created a goal. Now it's your turn to score.
You never quite know what you're going to get from Lockie Hansen. And North Melbourne fans happy they got that. 25 points the margin.
Yeah, 3 goals from Lockie Hansen's a nice afternoon's work so far. Plenty of time left to add to that tally. And they've been spreading it okay today, North. Very good spoil by Daniel Wells. And Swallow again involved. He's been involved in a lot of set-up play today. And their forward line defensive pressure, which you mentioned, Spud, has been very good all afternoon. Their quick players have been involved, and that's a very important part of forward line pressure.
What's been the difference? Just the little things, and the last 2 goals North have got have come from just work rate. A tackle from Lockie Hansen created a goal, and then a spoil from Lindsay Thomas creates another goal. So Brad's got to be wrapped with the forward line pressure here today.
You've got to start getting the ball out of the middle. 11-4 the numbers out of there.
Port Adelaide at breaking point now. Back to the biggest lead of the game, 25 points. Port Adelaide's whole season on the line here and now.
Well, the difference is the goals from the midfield too, and Pickers, you called it early in the game. Port haven't scored any goals from their midfield, yet Garlett, Harvey, Bastanak, they're all pushing forward, creating shots on goal.
Garlett back, Pratt finds an opening.
Been good, Pratt, today.
Rawlings, he's got runners with him, telling him what to do.
Goldstein deep.
Goes to the square, Goldstein on the move from the square. Brilliant movement of the ball. And for a big man, Hamish McIntosh, that was a perfect pass.
I'll tell you what, they've got great connection, these 2 lads. They're ruck forward. Goldstein as a deep forward, he's very clever. We know he's a ruckman, but the ability, as you see Hamish McIntosh there, the followers, they're getting in the game, North. And that's a beautiful kick there from Rawlings.
2 behind so far today. Slots himself a goal. Pushes the lead out beyond 30.
We've got something different up in the forward line now. They're very static early in the season with David Hale 1 out. And now you've got Lockie Hansen, you've got Lindsay Thomas, you've got Matty Campbell. And throwing the 2 big ruckmen pushing forward, Goldstein and McIntosh, it just gives the Port defence something to think about, or more importantly, all defences in the competition something to think about, because you've got different types. Instead of having the same go-to player week in, week out, you're serving up something different, which is really hard to defend against.
Liked a bit of play from Daniel Pratt across half-back. The 50-50 ball, he took it on again, cut back through the corridor, and he was the one that set up that play from half-back. Did a very good afternoon, Pratt. Leading possession winner on the ground with 20 20 possessions. He's had 9 handball receives today, which is very important.
Greenwood, magnificent clearance. Off hands, Hanson a little high on Logan. And every player bar Pratt for North Melbourne is a homegrown product, as we see that tackle a little too high. Even Pratt started his career at North Melbourne. Port Adelaide has 8 recycled players amongst its 22 today, but North Melbourne got to be proud with the team that they've grown.
Well, they are growing their team, and no question about that. With not a lot of real high picks either.
Yeah.
It's worth noting.
Hitchcock.
And obviously Wells, Zeeble, first rounders. Hanson, a first rounder, but
Motlop, one of the Port Adelaide recycled 8. Gets some booze. Pokes it up. Cassisi might have to go here. Trengove went with Grime.
Rowan Smith's been on Daniel Motlop watch. How's he going down there, Smithy?
He's playing up the ground at the moment, Piggers, and he's getting the ball up in the midfield, but he's going to become a little bit more dangerous. As Spud spoke about before, some of his chasing and tackling efforts in this third quarter have been great, but I just think that he should just plot himself in the full forward line and kick a couple of goals.
I'm sure Port Adelaide would like him to do that too. From the ball in, Bastanak had it, lost it. That tackle a little too high. In fact, it's a lot too high. Sam Wright's ball. Hands it off, Greenwood wide. Warren, he can go. Open forward line. Goldstein leads short. Hands were there again. Wells is short if he wants him. Terrible kick.
Just a kick.
Warren makes it okay. Caught, wrapped up, no prior opportunity. Got it out anyway. Nash. It's a handball to Logan. He had no prior opportunity either. Dispossessed. Harvey played for the push in the back. Crowd wanted him to get it. He wanted to get it. Umpire was wise to it. He has history in that particular area of playing for frees. Yeah, no prior opportunity there.
It's a win for North again, though. Another ball up inside their forward 50. Just gives a chance their midfield to settle, get a breather.
They lock up. Bastanak spins into trouble. Play on. Motlop in the back pocket. No prior opportunity there either.
Head down to Rowan Smith. Tom Logan looks in a little bit of trouble there, Rowan Smith.
It's actually Paul Stewart.
Sorry, mate.
Spud, but yeah, I'm not too sure. The trainers are just giving him a little bit of attention now, so got a little bit of blood coming out of his nose.
Got a heavy hit there in that contest.
Free kick in the ruck contest. Goldstein's ball.
That's the beauty of having Goldstein. He's actually playing as a forward at the moment, which allows McIntosh to sit behind the play. The big difference at the moment is North's midfield. McIntosh, Swallow, Goldstein, Bastanak, Harvey and Garlett have all kicked goals. Against Port, you've only got Schultz, Hitchcock and Meyer.
Port came into this game 5 wins, 7 losses. And Goldstein can't kick the goal. North Melbourne fans disappointed with that. North Melbourne came into this game 6 wins and 6 losses. This is a huge game for both clubs. North Melbourne well and truly back in the firing line with a win here. Long kick in, Brogan. Cassisi, Roden, got it back from Motlop, runs free, Davenport. Warren tracks him down. Davenport takes him on. Heads wide, Carr. Tries to shuffle out a handball, not a lot to go to. It's all North Melbourne. Garlick had it but lost it. Carr back in. Matt Thomas. Through traffic. Banner couldn't break through with it.
Pratt again.
Yeah, North Melbourne players all around this contest just waiting to pounce and get it forward. Free kick though, Kane Corns too high.
Well, Pratt was involved in 3 contested balls then. Zeeble, the last one, probably a little bit overzealous, but he's using himself as a battering ram at the moment, Daniel Pratt. Have a look in there in the middle of 2 Port players. Just tremendous play.
He and Dom Cassisi took each other down, essentially, and Pratt would be happy with taking Cassisi down. Sacrificing one piece for another. Motlop. And takes on Lindsay Thomas.
Should have corralled him there, Lindsay Thomas.
Heads wide, and that's a good pass to Daniel Stewart.
Just looking at Lindsay Thomas behind the play there. He knows he shouldn't have let him play on.
Centering ball, top of the square. Schultz was down there, couldn't bring it down. Rawlings does. Pratt dropped it. Roden steals it. And there's still a glimmer of hope.
A little bit of box on there. Yeah, it was poor play by Lindsay Thomas on the centre wing. They should have just made him go back, kick over the man on the mark, would have allowed a little bit more time for the defence to get back. But kicked in the dangerous area. They couldn't quite clear it. Good defensive tackling there by Cassisi and Roden. Pretty dangerous around goals with Davey Roden. But this margin is just a worry at the moment for Port Adelaide. They need to get a couple in a row here before three-quarter time.
It's the first goal from a midfielder for Port, so a glimmer of hope there for Port, but they desperately need just to keep pushing forward. This is one area they've been really good, because as you said, rightly said, 12 to 5 centre clearances, Port's favour.
Cassisi dragged off it. Goldstein tried to get the clearance, smothered. Bastanak gets the clearance. Warren back with the flies. Took Thomas with him. He kicked it from mid-air. And he can't kick it through from mid-air, but he has kicked more soccer goals than any other player in the competition this year, Lindsay Thomas. 5 of his 26 goals have been soccers from the deck or from mid-air. There's a useless stat for him.
I was going to say, what about the homework Dwayne's done?
Oh, that's fantastic, Dwayne.
It's one of those stats for the sake of giving a stat. I'm embarrassed about myself.
No, it's good. It's good homework. But yeah,
absolutely no relevance in that stat whatsoever.
No, but
I liked it.
I like it, Dwayne.
I'm going down to Rowan. Rowan Smith.
Well, boys, just on that, Paul Stewart, they're just struggling to stem the flow of play coming out of Paul Stewart's nose at the moment, Dwayne.
All right, I got my composure back.
No, I like it, Dwayne. He's been very quiet today, Lindsay Thomas. He's probably tried to do the brilliant thing all game.
Yeah.
Lindsay, last week his work rate with 12 shots on goal. Mind you, taking nothing away from Jacob Surgeon, I think he's been super on Lindsay Thomas today.
Gee, they've got a player in the corridor. Swallows on as well. Wells should go all the way here.
Wells, they can raffle it. Hansen pulls out the winning ticket.
His ball movement. He's coming of age, Lockie Hansen, but again, when Daniel Wells and Brent Harvey get the ball, that's been the difference. Those two boys, when they've got the ball forward to the centre, that is the difference. The class players for North in the midfield, from Wells and Harvey, they have put the ball lace out to their key forwards.
New coach, new attitude, 4 goals and a new Lockie Hansen.
Yeah, good finish. 4 goals, a good afternoon's work. But, yeah, once they got it in the corridor, you get it into these blokes like Wells, who just use it so well. Look at that kick. As I said, just a raffle, really. Lindsay could have got it as well, Lindsay Thomas. And every time Port have managed to negotiate a goal and get the margin back a bit, North have been able to just go and bang. You see Paul Stewart, we're going to have another mummy out in the ground. We've already got a couple out there.
Paul Stewart getting some work done after this collision.
Just waiting for you, Dwayne, to come up with some sort of a stat about the amount of nosebleeds this year of one player.
Or how much tape they use to put around their cranium.
Come on, you guys.
That's been good, Dwayne.
We loved your stat.
Logan to Boak. Hands it up.
We want more, Dwayne.
Inside. Hitchcock. Floats it to Schultz, and he floats into it.
No, he's had a good game. The 2 young forwards, Schultz and Hansen, this has been the positive for both teams. Schultz, he just leads up the middle of the ground. That's what you want from your key forward, because if he doesn't mark it in this situation here, all Grimer can do is spoil it down for his crumbing players, and they're in the corridor. So he's led up the middle of the ground, and he's kicked the 4 goals straight because he's marked them in the corridor.
Thank you.
He's got a long run up when he has a kick at goals.
For number 5. And all day Port Adelaide haven't really been in it, but they're not out of it either.
After the Hansen goal, really important to be able to respond straight away. And Schultz has been a really good player this afternoon. His kicking's been magnificent. He's always been a good kick. But we have a look at this. Hitchcock involved as well. He's probably been their second best forward. And Schultz out in front. We can mark it like that consistently. No reason why he can't be a very good AFL player, Jay Schultz. He makes it to the top. His arms stretched right out. Very hard to spoil that. Good goal.
Well, I tell you, that's his best ever haul, 5 goals for Port Adelaide, but you just, ridicule me for giving you that stat.
Not at all.
I think his best is 6, Dwayne, for the Tigers.
Against the Brisbane Lions at the Gabba. Round 14, 2004, but I won't go on with it.
Yeah, Spud put him at half forward the next week when Smitcho was back. No, you didn't. I know you didn't. I was at the game.
Nash.
It was actually the week that I resigned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that week playing. Yeah.
Really?
Still coached out the remaining 9 games. But Chelsea lifted.
I remember that game because the following week was Essendon and Richmond, wasn't it?
That's right.
So he played really well after you told him you were leaving.
He did.
Okay.
What's that telling you, Dwayne?
Right. I'm only messing. Harvey
all
beaten
good,
for
mate.
it by Kane Corns. Shovels it out. 88-61. It's a 27-point margin. Big minute 24 coming up here before three-quarter time.
Well, 27. I think it's going to be difficult to get it back from here, but got a couple of areas of the game that are going okay here. Around the stoppages have been pretty good for Port.
Meyer, bottom of the pack, didn't really try and get it out, but got the benefit of the doubt.
Because hasn't Levi Greenwood turned into a good player? He's been fantastic in this third quarter.
He has. He's been a good run with player, Smithy.
Yes, of course, a brilliant goal to win the game against the Lions as well. Swallow backtracks, Rawlings, Cunnington threads his way through dangerously. Swallow, wobbly kick, Surgeon, Thomas. They wrap up, Chad Corns. Thomas with a slap on, Bastanak. Time for a score here. McIntosh sends it long. Carlisle comes first. Attacks it with the bounce. Stolen by Goldstein. Here's it to Harvey. Will he kick the miracle?
Super kick.
Centering kick. Sensational. Lower.
Oh, that's a man. He's the best player on the ground, Brett Harvey. 1 goal, 4 goal assists. This will be 5 goal assists. So he's the danger man. He's the one that's hit the scoreboard for his teammates in the goal assist area. That is just a sensational kick. A banana kick to space. That's what you want from your leaders. You want your leaders to play team football, and that is just a great team-orientated kick from the skipper, Brent Harvey.
This could be the killer blow. Heading into three-quarter time. Lower makes the goal umpire dance, and that gives Port a little bit of life.
Yeah, it does. A bad miss. But just going back to Brent Harvey, it was good play by Big Goldie here. Just well done for a big fella,
Good
over
agility,
200 centimetres. I'm glad they're making note these days of goal assists, but you just have to look at the paper, see who kicked all the goals, but now they actually make it.
Free kick before the siren here, and it's a hold on McIntosh. He's going to get a shot at goal.
Well, he go to the barrel, surely.
He's 1,000
He's
to
having a
1.
laugh about it.
Well, he's just going to have a crack. Fair enough, too.
While everybody at Etihad Stadium wants him to get onto it.
He's going to the barrel.
Except this bloke.
Holds it for the torpedo. This would be the killer blow. Not bad. It's going. Just misses.
What a kick.
29 points to margin. Even Mark Williams can laugh. What else can he do? North Melbourne 13-12-90. Port Adelaide 9-7-61.
Two, 1, 2, radio 1, radio 1, radio 2.
Expected to win, and they just need to seal the deal in this last quarter. That's going to be the issue. They've played 3 really tough quarters. They need to finish it off in this last quarter.
North will remain just outside the top 8, but only on percentage if they win this game here today. They are definitely in finals contention if they can bring it home with a big last quarter.
Well, it's taking shape, that top 8, Dwayne, isn't it? As you'd expect this time of the year.
And a few of the teams below North Melbourne starting to drop off, and Port Adelaide will be one of those dropped. Brisbane Lions dropped a little last night as well. Zeeble, there's that attack again. You mentioned Rowan, gives it off to Harvey, to Swallow, handballs inside to Lower.
Hamish is pushed forward.
Slung 360 and gets the kick away. Swallow.
Gee, that was a good bit of play.
Inside. Greenwood held up. Puts it up high. Chance for McIntosh.
Too good. Too good. The ruckman pushing forward. They're going to kick 3 goals between them if he nails this one, Hamish McIntosh. We just see he's evil. You'd be wrapped with that, Rowan Smith. You called it 3/4 time.
Yeah, some of the hardness of the contest in during that third quarter, and he just did it in the first minute of the last quarter there, but he was just spot on. The way he just pushed his body against his opponent and just won the footy was fantastic.
He's actually still eligible for the NAB Rising Star, Jack Ziebell. He started this season as the favourite to win it, but he hasn't been nominated this year.
Oh, okay, so he has to be nominated in the actual year.
Yeah, he was nominated last year, obviously, broke his leg and didn't win it. And McIntosh completes the deal.
Well, it's a bit of a non-negotiable, really, with the way they attack their footy, their young players, Spud, but been impressed with the big fellas going today, Hamish.
Well, Hamish McIntosh has kicked 2 goals, 1. Todd Goldstein 1 goal, 3. So they're not only winning the ruck taps, but they're pushing forward and getting dangerous, and why not? And I think their forward line, we talk about Lockie Hansen kicking 4, Campbell 2, but then throw in the 2 big fellas kicking 3 goals, 4 between them.
Port Adelaide season on the brink of collapse, but North Melbourne season well and truly alive.
Well, 2 ruckmen have had 7 scoring shots between them in Hamish McIntosh and Goldstein. That's terrific.
I think it's been a fantastic move by Brad Scott to play them basically out of the goal square when they're not in the ruck. You know, it's worked really well today. Goldstein looks natural there, so does McIntosh when he goes forward.
And what it does, when you play down defence, you've got different types. So he flips them down there, he put them in the ruck, put them on the bench. So all of a sudden, the key defenders for Port in Corns and Carlisle, they get to play in different types. So their mindset's got to change because they're very dangerous when they're pushing forward, not only as forwards, but following out of the ruck down in the forward line.
Ziebell jumped on the footy, free kick against him. Chad Corns long. Schultz with a palm. Harvey, McIntosh, Thompson, and Ziebell can go. Takes the mark on the wing. Warren's short. Pass doesn't hit him and he drags it out.
Could actually look for a handball inboard there, Jack. Their option was there with Warren, but Bastanak was pushing hard forward in the midfield.
Well, the 2 options were he either gives the handball to Greenwood or Greenwood goes and shepherds, and he runs.
And the ball in. Corns, Cassisi, Nash. Davenport, tough bounce pass. Jack Corns to Carlisle, who has some space to use. Daniel Motlop calls for a short. He goes longer to Schultz in a one-on-one. Good grab.
Oh, super. And this has been the positive for Port. The issue they haven't been able to get in there enough. Inside 50s, 41 to North. Port 8 down on the ledger with only 33, but this has been the real positive for mine. Joe Schultz, and again, he's kicked 5 straight because he's been marking the ball in the corridor.
And this to equal his best ever. For number 6. Strikes it nicely. It's there, all right.
Good boy.
Can't blame him.
No Warren Treadrake. And Schultz, we talked about at the start of the year, his work rate was there. And he wasn't hitting the scoreboard, he was tackling, he was doing all the team things. And now that Warren Treadrake's out of the team, Port have really struggled to get an avenue to goal consistently for a big man. So this has been the real positive for Port. The issue is they just haven't been able to get him one-on-one enough. And North have been very good at double team in the air, but one-on-one, he's won his ball. Scotty Thompson there's had a very good game last week. But again, he's been beaten today. Purely and simply, he's been beaten by Jay Schultz, 6 goals.
He has struggled. He's had a lot of goals kicked against him this year. Now, there haven't been all 6 on him today. We know the way the zone is playing, but he has struggled against the bigger bodies this year, Scotty Thompson. We know that. Been pretty good against the smaller blokes.
Greenwood's kick marked by Carlisle.
I need to get a wriggle on here real quick, Port Adelaide. 2 or 3 in a row here to give them some belief. They had about a 5 or 6 minute period in that third quarter where you thought they were sort of getting themselves back in the game, but got to play fast footy here.
Logan to Kane, Corns to the outer side to Davenport. And now Surgeon, whose 100th game might be a forgettable one. Schultz flies again.
Well, he's on fire.
He's got Hitchcock in the forward line on his own here.
And Hitchcock should mark this and slot 2 in a row for Port Adelaide. back to 23 points.
Double teaming Schultz in the air, and they still couldn't get the ball to the ground. He's absolutely on fire, Jay Schultz. You just see his surgeon looking up, and why wouldn't you go to Jay Schultz? See the North players trying to double team Schultz in the air, but he's just too good at the moment. He is just far too good, and Hitchcock pushing to space. And those two lads have had a great connection. They've kicked 9 goals between them, those two boys.
Well, a couple of wins for North Melbourne this year, Dwayne. You would have seen them too. The Brisbane game, they just hung on, big lead.
Yep.
So they're not a great last quarter team, the Roos.
You make a very good point. In fact, it was here last year when Port Adelaide came from 6 goals down at half-time to give North Melbourne a scare. Might be another scare coming. Boat gets on the end of a Pearce clearance.
Well, that's what they've been doing really well all day. That's the win they've had out of the middle. Port have been super out of the centre clearances today. That's a bit of a concern for North. Port keep getting the ball out, as we see here. Daniel Pearce, he's probably been Port's best player with 21 disposals. 5 inside 50s, going at 93% by foot 2, Pearce.
Well, they haven't hit top gear all day, Port Adelaide. Boak lines them up. Floats across the face a little. Had the chance to kick the door open.
Well, we said that before. Fast footy might get them back in the game here. They've kicked 2 quick ones with Schultz and Hitchcock. Another one now, all of a sudden. North will start to get the staggers a bit.
Rawlings to Grimer. Right. Hugging the boundary. Pratt. Long thump. McIntosh in the seat. Couldn't take the mark. Nash slips the handball out. Logan back to Surgeon. Little push off. Don't argue on Thomas. Opens it up to Cassisi. Clever half volley, kick not so good. Kane Corns made it okay. Pearce has got Brogan if he wants him.
Everywhere.
They've got Meyer inside 50 if they can see him.
Bounce past the car, gives to Brogan.
Down to Schultz again.
Thumps it long, Schultz flies, hands to it, almost landed on his chest. Rawlings to the line, that'll do.
You call the pickers. I think Schultz been in good form. Brogan looked up, but he failed to look to his left because Danny Meyer was on his own, 30 metres out. He only had to lower his eyes and look laterally, and Meyer would have been able to shot on goal from 20 metres.
Goldstein with the palm down. Boak with the steal, caught. Boak thought he was caught high, and it's a free kick North Melbourne's way, and it'll go to Scott Thompson.
When you're on fire, that's okay, but you now know that Brad Scott's smart enough to send the runner out, double, triple team Schultz every time the ball's in the air.
We only had to see the way that they went back on Schultz when that ball was kicked in long. They're not going to allow that. He's their main marking target.
Sam Wright to McIntosh. It's a toe on that with Carlisle. Greenwood attacked that hard on Carr and caught Carr high.
Oh, he's tough, Josh Carr. Greenwood just come off the bench. Got sandwiched in between Garlett and, oh yeah, what a free kick there, Josh Carr.
He worked hard, Josh Carr, today. He's tried really hard. They've got a lot of numbers back in front here for the long bomb. Oh, it's going to be 1 against 5 here.
Big flyers go up. McIntosh got a palm on it. Roden. Well, he took that to ground, but he had no prior opportunity.
No, it was a good front and square from David Roden, but North are getting a lot of numbers back now, that 30-metre zone, where Jay Schultz has been super dangerous today.
Look at that. Hard to get a kick in here. And to clear out a bit of space here, Port. Set up a wall for the quick kick out from North. Have some numbers back across half forward.
Scott Thompson. Greenwood in the middle of the congestion. Pratt gets it wide. Swallow
That was
wider.
a good kick.
Brilliant clearance. Harvey.
Because they'd set the wall up and under real pressure. Now, that's what you call a kick under pressure. That was a ripper.
Harvey to the open side. They know they need a goal or two to finish this off. Farito heads wider. Rawlings. Garlett. Warren's over the top and free. Garlett needs to see him. Now he needs to hit him. Does hit him. Plays on from 45 out for a settler to the square. Big pluck. Hanson.
The 2 young forwards today, they've been the real positives out of going for his 5th goal here now, Lockie Hanson.
Well, it was decision time for Chad Corns, and he left Ben Warren and went and attacked the ball. Didn't quite pin the Port Adelaide player up the ground. The North Melbourne player, I should say.
He's got 4, and that is a nerve settler.
Working through the middle of the ground, North will look a lot more dangerous than Port. Their flow on game, their play-ons from the middle of the ground to get the ball deep. You'll see here Warren is actually going for goal at the head over. You can see the frustration after he kicked the ball. A little deft touch there from Lindsay Thomas. Just use his body as a battering ram there so Hansen could mark the ball. So PB for Lockie Hansen.
He's quite a happy chappy, Lockie Hansen, isn't he? He seems to really enjoy his footy.
Well, he's the joker in the club, and some players and coaches within the club said, get a little bit serious. We want to see you throw the chest set out the window when you lose occasionally, not walk off with a half smile and a handshake or two. Roden heads wide. Devonport.
Well, the set of clearance support.
Motlop jumps, can't mark, lays a tackle on Pratt. No Pryor, lost it. Boak attacks it. Meyer dives in. 4 Kangaroos dive in with him. Greenwood, that means Port Adelaide have got players outside. Wells gets it way outside. Swallow holds it up. Clever. Pokes it wide. Garland.
Wells has pushed on here.
Short pass. Hansen.
He's everywhere. That's good work, Ron. He's led from the goal square to mark that ball, Hansen.
Wells. Hansen. Right.
Push back here. Brogan's pushed back as well.
Warren with Chad Corns. Pearce. Boundary line. Campbell tries to keep it in. Can't. Back into play. Pearce. Kane Corns. Port Adelaide fighting on. 28 points the margin. Scott Thompson takes the mark. Schultz pleads for a free. Right. Lead comes from Hansen. It's ignored. Sends it long. Lindsay Thomas can go. He stays back. Stewart with the fist. Pearce. Nash. Corralled. And he gets a kick wide. And Rawlings might pump it back in. Hits it low. And Lindsay Thomas can't get a jump at it. Stewart again with the fist. Kasisi, Roden, Thomas.
Nothing up the ground.
Ordinary handball.
Cut off by Pratt.
Ordinary option.
Heads long. Lindsay Thomas got a hand on it. Can't pounce back onto it. Daniel Pearce. Port Adelaide back line under siege. Port Adelaide need to get it inside 50 just to give them a breather.
They've got numbers here. They just need to use hands and be smart.
Mitch Banner short. Motlop from 50.
He'll nail this.
Kickable by his standards. Keeps it low from 60. Slides it home and keeps them in it.
Well, it's a good run from half back. Pearce involved again. You could just tell Motlop was just going to go back and just go bang. He was due. They're right in this game. Don't worry about that. They are right in it. If they can capitalise on any mistakes North Melbourne make, well, they're still well and truly in this game. Just a really good kick from that distance. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what happens at the next centre bounce, because that's going to be crucial.
Ferrito with the job. He couldn't, could he? Couldn't break free for 5 or 6 minutes.
If he does, and that's all they need. I mean, because they haven't nailed this game, North Melbourne. 4 goals is manageable. If you believe in yourself, that is.
Greenwood's gone here. Port Adelaide with the clearance.
Well, it's another clearance. It's 3-1 in this last quarter. Port's favour.
You like this. Schultz is on again here. You're asleep, Scotty Thompson.
Schultz is up, and the hands are strong, and he was dragged down. It's not 50. 45-degree angle.
You're standing 10 metres in front. The free kick is with a left footer. The space was where he was going to break to. It just didn't switch on quick enough. That hurts.
Well, not only Thompson. You'd have one of the half backs to just zone into that space, because Thompson's playing on him. But you're right, Thompson was asleep, but even the half backs were asleep, because he's the money man at the moment, Joe Schultz.
Well, he's got 6. Never kicked 7 in his life. And he still hasn't.
Oh, geez, I'd love to get another look at that Just gee, it's frustrating. That's the sort of stuff that the coaches would be sitting up there going, gee, we've got to be ready for that, haven't we? We've got to know Daniel Pearce is the key player to bring it inside 50. He's a left footer.
Well, old Thompson. Hanson went at it with a hand. Got his own crumb. Couldn't get a handball off in time. Levi Greenwood attacked it hard, left it behind. Kane Corns, Cassisi, Carr, Trengove.
They're three everywhere inside 50.
Motlop inside 50.
Did well
got the spoil, knocked it down. Rawlings under siege here. Pratt.
That's up the chimney.
Hacks it high. It'll be a mark. Hanson goes up, knocks it down. Kane Corns to Boak. Port Adelaide with a wall back, ready to reload. Cassisi across to Carlisle. Stewart. And in hope, Logan was inside 50 with Wells. Wells knocked it down to Garlett.
That was great play from Daniel Wells, Dwayne.
Garlett
Schultz was going to mark that.
And Harvey holds it up at half-back.
They need Harvey and a couple of the leaders just to, all right, let's just try and take a minute or two off the clock here now while Porter giving themselves a bit of belief.
Daniel Pearce with a knee issue. He's getting that checked on the bench. We'll go down to Rowan Smith when we can take a breath. But this game is alive. Scott Thompson pumps it. Jack Corns under it. Should take it, does.
That's just a nothing kick. Just a nothing kick, but in hope.
17 minutes gone, final term. Port Adelaide season on the brink of death, and they know it. Boak. Brogan.
Lifted.
Kane Corns. Matt Thomas.
Just got loose players everywhere.
Schultz calls for it long. Can he get a jump at it? Frito's with him. Frito threw him off that a little. Carr tried to shuffle it back. And we'll get a ball in. 21 points the margin. Daniel Pearce. It's the knee knocked and hyperextended.
Well, inside 50s this quarter, 11 to Port, 6 for North Melbourne. So they're drying up in the midfield at the moment, North.
Well, we talked at three-quarter time, Spud, about when they went inside in the third quarter, they were looking dangerous, 80%.
Here's the knee for Pearce. You can see it goes sideways there.
Well, he's the money man because he's had 10 disposals in this last quarter and 4 clearances, 5 inside forward 50. So they desperately need to get him back on the ground, Daniel Pearce.
Boak tried the run-up clearance on the move.
Dwayne, Daniel Pearce is just walking in front of me at the moment with the doctor just speaking to him. They have checked the stability of his knee. He looks okay. And fingers crossed, as you said, Spud, he is the money man. They've got to get him back on here now.
8 minutes left. 21 points the margin. Motlop from mid-air.
He's a freak, this bloke.
He is. And maybe the magic's back.
He's a freak. We talked about this. He could get hot for 5 minutes, and if North haven't put him to the sword, game well and truly, to quote Lee Colbert, on. And that's the sort of stuff this bloke can do. 2 in a row he's kicked now. And out of nothing, out of absolutely nothing. Look at the numbers around this contest. He's just got an unbelievable ability to find the goals.
2 kicks, 2 goals. This centre bounce now, and this is where Port have been dominant today. Inside 50s now, 11 to 6. See Brad Scott there. Churning deep inside, looks cool, calm, calculated. He'll be wondering, do we flip an extra behind the ball?
15 points the margin.
Be a bad shout, they're getting smashed in there.
Banner with the clearance. Port Adelaide with the hot players, Motlop and Schultz forward. Urquhart, Harvey, Rawlings, Harvey, Ferrito out of trouble. Hugs the boundary. Warren with the fist. Right, almost grabbed it. Warren dives in, but he's got it napped. And it's high on right.
Sure, it looked high.
No free kick. Crowd have gone crazy.
The umpire might have been blindsided in his defence.
There's 3 of them, though. Boak. Banner. Ducked into that. Poetic justice, perhaps. North Melbourne come up with it. Ferrito got it from Harvey. Campbell. Ferrito. A wobbling torpedo. Jack Corns flies. Can't bring it down. Warren's handball smothered. And the ball rolls out of play for the hands of Paul Stewart.
Just a bit of composure at the moment. The last 2 entries for North, that's too high. And the umpire obviously was blindsided because he would have paid to be able to have seen that. But the last 2 entries from North are just blazing away. Just be composed. Have a look.
Roden got it from Cassisi. Caught, though, as he tried the shimmy. Scott Thompson. Can he hit a chest? Sends it long. Lindsay Thomas, Surgeon. Thomas, back of the pack. Snaps. Misses. It's still a free kick game. 16 points the margin.
We know where Lindsay Thomas in the high ball is always going to try and duck out the back. Mind you, Jacob Search has been tripping on him today. He's only kicked the 1 goal, Lindsay Thomas. 12 shots at goal last week.
He's done a good job, hasn't he?
Excellent job, outstanding job.
Because he's got a bit of supply. It's not like they haven't kicked the ball to him. I mean, Hanson's been the tall target.
He's only had the 9 disposals, Lindsay Thomas. He's kicked 1 goal, 3.
Logan, Chad Corns.
Half a win for North this, forcing them to do around the sort of other side of the ground to switch the play.
Surgeon, Matt Thomas. Now Davenport, he fumbles it, and he fumbled it for the wrong man, Harvey.
Yeah, he certainly did.
Urquhart back to Harvey.
That's a bad fumble from
And
Davenport.
the more Harvey gets the ball, the closer North Melbourne is to victory. Farito back. Grimer. Goldstein.
This is good play by North. Just take a minute or 2 off here. Makes it harder and harder. Going to be good by foot though, and that wasn't great.
Hanson, the bounce pass. Pratt can go back. Dangerous kick to swallow, but a very, very good kick.
It was a good kick, but gee whiz.
Rawlings. It's been an exciting game to watch, though.
Yeah, but Pratt, he's been composed all day, Pratt. He's been tough. He's used the ball. He's had the 25 disposals, Daniel Pratt.
No, I don't know why the crowd are booing. If I was the crowd, I'd be going, you know what? Just let him do this for a while.
Hanson.
Good contest, Logan.
Great contest. Logan went the ball there.
He turned the body beautifully, Dwayne.
Yeah, and turned the palm of his hands. You can't mark the ball with the back of your hands, and the umpires know that. You have to go with your palms at the ball. Davenport, kick half smothered. Scott Thompson to Harvey. If anyone can finish it, he can. Runs inside 50. Couple of bounces. Into 40. There's your sealer. And North Melbourne could be finals bound on the back of it.
What a super game from Brent Harvey. We saw it here last Friday night. He kicked the sealer. That was a very good use of the body there from Tom Logan. But have a look at this. The run and carry for Brent Harvey. The turnover from Davenport. He hasn't had a good minute. Jason Davenport. Great shepherd there. And you could just, like shelling peas, that shot on goal. That is just an unbelievable shepherd. Great captain's goal. 2 goals, 29 disposals.
292 games, Brent Harvey. Equal 5th all-time on the Kangaroos games list with the superstar Anthony Stevens. Ahead of him, just Keith Gregg, Adam Simpson, Wayne Schimmelbusch and Glenn Archer.
A few handy names there.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. And he's had 4 goal assists too. It's what a game.
Hanson to add a little cream onto the cake. Hits the square. Lindsay Thomas can't mark.
Well done, Surgeon.
Matt Thomas. Logan back. Carlisle. Logan. Stewart. Dragged out. Ball in.
Leading a vocal of 15,000 people that have turned up this afternoon, young and old. And all supporters.
But you called it for a Pickers a couple of minutes ago. You need to get the ball in the good hands of the North players. And Brent Harvey, once he got it, you thought, well, it's just going to be a kick over the goal umpire's hat. He's getting tagged again. You know, he's had 2 taggers today.
Oh, that's what the great players do. You know, they deal with taggers. They go, you know what? I've got Kane Corns, who's one of the best. Saw off Cassisi. And in the end, I'll just outwork Kane Corns as well and win the game for us in the process.
In the last quarter, he's had Jason Davenport too. He's getting the ball now.
Davenport to Brogan. Lost it. Thought about giving it back to Rogan. Almost a throw. Kane Corns couldn't trap it. Pratt does. Shrugs a tackle. Campbell. Harvey again. To set another one up to right. And there's your icing.
It's, I'm sounding like a broken record. Was that a goal assist to Brent Harvey?
Yes.
Oh, he's just a marvel, seriously. 6 goal assists. I think that's nearly one of the records on the Champion Data stats. I don't know what the record is. But again, it was just a work rate. In the clinches, North have been absolutely outstanding. Handball from the skipper to Grimer. Game over.
Let's have a look at his numbers in the last quarter, Spud. Brent Harvey, we're talking about not Sammy Wright, who's been good. Brent Harvey's had 11 disposals, 6 handball receives and a goal, plus a couple of assists. Reasonable afternoon's work from the little champion.
Greenwood handball smothered. Boak flicks it wide. Davenport. Harvey pursues. Davenport takes him on. Stolen by Hitchcock. Stewart. Logan tried the big leap, and Schultz.
Again, he's been on fire.
And a kick 7 today, which is a great return for Jay Schultz. He's a bit of a line player.
Yeah.
Got plenty of talent, Spud.
Well, you go to the game and say Schultz kicked 7, Port win the game.
Think
Just
so.
the brilliance of North.
Let's hope he kicks it. Best game of his life, Jay Schultz, 7 goals.
I'm wrapped for Jay Schultz because, as I said, he's been a line player, but he's kicked beautifully today. 7 goals, a great return in a losing team. Probably a bit early there, Logan, but that's what happens when you're having those sort of games, I guess. You know, sometimes the ball you weren't even meant to go for falls into your arms. And that's what happened on that occasion, but he has had a very good afternoon. It's been a good game to commentate.
Oh, it certainly has. 9 marks, 3 contested, Jay Schultz.
2 goals in the opening term for Jay Schultz, 3 in the third term, and 2 in the last term. They have become exciting to watch, North Melbourne. Only 15,000 fans here, but if it's 15,000 and growing, it's a good sign for the AFL and for the North Melbourne Football Club. Boak wide. Matt Thomas. Daniel Pearce. Harvey again to try and stop a little bit of bleeding. Roden drives his way through. Kasisi tried to shuffle out a handball. Ball tied up. Ferrito. Scott Thompson got his arms free.
Here he goes.
McIntosh to Harvey.
Get the 1-2 here.
Pasternak and Harvey share it
He'll go
again.
all the way.
He'll kick. Well, I thought he was going
Unselfishly to Warren.
He's unbelievable. This will be his 6th goal assist, Brent Harvey. He's had 7. This will be his 7th scoring assist. He's had 5 of them goals, and this will be number 6. So that is an unbelievable game.
Yeah, I love this. This is what happens when you're an experienced player. Bastak, he goes, yeah, I'm going to give you the 1 there, and I'm going to get it back, and then I'm going to kick it. And why wouldn't you? If I was Bastak, I'd go, no worries, Harves. Yeah, Boomer. Thank you.
Well, what a player to learn from.
Oh, absolutely. It's been unbelievable work rate.
Pasternak in game 13. He's had an outstanding year, Pasternak, and Harvey teaching him all the tricks, and Warren gets himself a prize as well.
Put in perspective, his numbers have been unbelievable in the last quarter. 32 touches, Brent Harvey. 18 handball receives, 7 inside 50s. He's been a fantastic player. Kicked a couple of goals as well. Last quarter stats, Spud, 13 disposals, 8 handball receives, 2 inside 50s, and Warren on the end of a bit of his good work.
1 goal and 2 goal assists.
Both these teams with the week off next week. Then for North Melbourne, it's Geelong at Skilled Stadium. Huge game after the break for North, and for Port Adelaide, Fremantle at Subiaco. So it gets even tougher for Port Adelaide and North after this.
Talking about Brent Harvey again, 97% effective disposal, so he's used the ball extremely well.
Campbell off and running. And a free kick off the ball. It's against Chad Corns, who about a minute ago had an argument with umpire Troy Pennell. And Troy Pennell said to him, I'll talk to you about it during the week, but not now.
A hold, he says.
So that's explained it a little more clearly with Chad Corns there and then.
It's like Groundhog Day, round 1 of the year. He was set, that what they were told. Chad Corns, he said, you know where you're playing this year? You're playing in a position, and you're playing on Ben Warren in round 1. He didn't do a bad job either, from memory. Back on him again today.
2 in 2 minutes for Ben Warren, and North can get a bit of a percentage booster here.
The average winning margin's only 17 points. I think Brad's got to be pleased with the scoreboard, as we see there. But he's had 11 different goal scorers, and that's having some multiples from Hansen, Mac with 5, McIntosh 2, Warren 2, Harvey 2, Campbell 2, and then all singles. So 11 single goal scorers is impossible to defend against in the modern game. So you're not relying on the one player.
North Melbourne tonight will sit just outside the 8, 9th spot on the ladder, equal wins and losses wise with the teams just above them, but percentage keeping them outside the 8 at the moment. Regardless of whether they stack on a couple more goals here, they'll remain just outside. And they're a chance to stack on a couple more. Bastanak gets in on the party.
He's half going to pass that, Dwayne. I think he looked up and thought, I'm going to hit Warren and I'll have a shot, so I'll kick it in between. But he's been okay again, Bastanak, this afternoon. He's up to 19 touches.
Rawlings traps it lower. Scott Thompson. Rawlings. He's got options aplenty. Sam Wright in the pocket.
You mentioned about them being a very watchable team. I reckon you're right. You know, the North Melbourne team that we're watching now is young. It's exciting. It's well led.
Well coached.
Well coached. Geez, you go away from his first half of coaching, you'll never ever say it. You'll never be satisfied. But gee, if I was a huge supporter, I'd be very happy with Brad Scott.
He can have a mini holiday content with what he started. Touch play on was the call, and Carlisle searches for the line. Gets it.
As you said, Dwayne, we did round one. And he had a baptism of fire too, that first half. Round one over at Amy Stadium.
Yeah, they were poor, weren't they? Really ordinary first half of that game. But they did fight the game out that afternoon.
Pratt going for big marks now. Back inside 50. Matt Thomas. They can raise their expectation level, North Melbourne. A 36-point thumping in the end. A 19-goal afternoon on the back of Brett Harvey's brilliance.
He was brilliant. There's no question about that. And what an afternoon he's had. He's led from the front again. We can see him shaking a little roll on Smith's hand. We'll get down and have a chat with him in a second. And they had great players across the board. Port Adelaide were pretty good. Like, let's not. I know it got out to 36 at the end, but they were pretty good, Spud.
Oh, they were outstanding, but 11 goal scorers out of 19. And what a win to have to go into the break, the 2 weeks off. As you said, 7 scoring assists to Brent Harvey, 6 of those being goals. 2 goals, 32 disposals, 18 handball receives. It's just an unbelievable game there as we head down to Rowan Smith.
Thanks, Spud. Well, boom, it was a very good win in the end.
It was, mate. They come back at us again, and you know, to the boys' credit, we kept at it and kicked the last couple of goals, which was pleasing.
Opened up in the